Y'all know the drill. Where you from? Where you at? What are you doing? Do the morning boxing talks because yesterday was a great day for the sport. I would say you had great fights, very great fights, great fighters in the UK. You had great fights, great fighters here in the US. You had a really great fight between two veterans south of the border in Tijuana, Barbie Juarez, Jackie Nava. It was honestly, I didn't expect all of yesterday's cards to be as good as they were. The Showtime card was good. The Showtime card was good. The ESPN card was just excellent, phenomenal. Nava versus Juarez. That was the last card that I took in last night. That was very late. I had to search for a stream because it was a pay per view. I believe it was a pay per view here stateside, but wow, so I'm gonna do a weekend recap. I am, but there were so many fights that some of them I want to talk about live because there were so many fights. There were a lot, like Sultan versus Carabao. Wow, what a fight, man! What a fight! Was goody Ivan? Was goody Mark? Was goody Rob? Was goody Timmy? Was good. Concha was good. Danny was good. JD was good. Michael was good. I don't know what the hell Sultan's chin is made out of. I really don't, because he ate straight left hand after straight left hand after straight left hand. He got his head snapped, but he kept coming. He kept pushing forward. He kept pressing the guy. And I believe that was a bantamweight contest. I believe that was that 118? I believe that was 118 pounds. You got to keep your eye on that guy, man, because that was a great fight, honestly. Willie Lynch was good. Dakota Linger is a hell of a fighter. ESPN card, yeah, man. It was good fights all over the place, man. Honest to God, even the Showtime card. Outside of Ennis versus Dulorme, which I'm gonna be talking about. Outside of Ennis versus Dulorme, Butayev versus James. That was a good fight. That was a very good fight. Vargas learned you don't piss. Yo, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that because I talked to two of the more knowledgeable people I know in reference to that fight. I talked to Lennox, who's often been here on the channel. I talked to Sulem. Sulem's been telling me from the get go that she's got Zapata winning that fight, that he's going to be up for that fight. The night before the fight, I spoke to Lennox. He said he believes that Zapata is a shot fighter. And because the fight ended the way that it ended, as fast as it ended, that doesn't necessarily mean that Lennox was wrong. We didn't get to see if Zapata is a shot fighter. We didn't get to see that. I'll say that from the moment that the fight started, he seemed very much switched on. You know, he seemed sharp, but you have to be honest that when you're trying to see if a guy is a shot fighter, you're not going to really get the opportunity to see that if the fight ends so abruptly. And he got through with a big left hand. He ended the fight early. It was nuts. Like, bruh, I had Zapata versus Vargas on my laptop, which was right in front of me, and I had James. I had the James versus Butayev fight. I had that on my TV, and Ennis and Dulorme was on the TV, and I was paying more attention to the Zapata fight because I had just saw the Caraballo versus Sultan fight, so that was where my attention was. And yeah, that shit was so fast, dog. It was so fast. I was blown away. I picked my head up and I look at the TV, and then I see that Boots Ennis has his robe on already. I'm like, yo, he knocked out whatchamacallit already? There was a question that was asked. I saw it on Twitter. Who I guess who stole the night for you? And for me, it was Zapata. It was Zapata because that was a young, well, you know, I don't want to say unbeaten, but because I think he got DQ'd or some shit like that. I think he got DQ'd. Vargas did before some bullshit. Yeah. Let me just open the shit to the panel. I'm gonna open the shit to the panel. In reference to Bobich's fight, I want to say this. I don't think that Eric Molina needs to fight on televised cards anymore, major cards on major platforms, because it felt like he wasn't really trying. And it's not just me. Andy Lee said it. WBA 140-pound champion Kaylee Reese said it. That it's like, yo, dog, like that dude showed up for a check. And if that's all you gonna do, then you don't need to be on televised cards. You need to be fighting in club fights. You don't need to be on major cards. I was goody AJ. You don't need to be on major cards. You have to put an effort forth. You have to, you have to earn your money because you're fighting on a major platform. There's a lot of other fighters that would like the opportunity to fight on the platform that you're fighting on, and this is all you're really doing. So Eddie needs to stop giving that guy fights. That's the first thing.
What's good, Rank? You hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. I don't want to see Eric Molina ever again.
Yeah, like not.
He just Eric Molina. That's what he did. Did it more or less. So
yeah, like I like that Eddie when he has these kinds of guys. Okay. I like that Eddie, when he has these kinds of guys like a Eric Molina, that he keeps them in circulation and he uses them to a degree. But I think that it's time to put Eric away. It's time to bin Eric. Like, you're right. You've gotten what you can get out of him. He's not trying anymore. You know what I mean? Like, he's stumbling all over the place. He's not trying to win fights anymore. And for having a guy up there that isn't going to try to win, or is going to take the easy way out, whatever, you could give that opportunity to somebody else. I don't want to see Eric. I don't want to see Eric Molina anymore. Period. So I'm going to start with a question that I saw on Twitter. I saw people comparing the first round knockout in Zapata versus Vargas and the first round knockout in Ennis versus Dulorme. Mark, which one impressed you more?
Zapata versus Vargas. No, what were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it was Zapata versus Vargas. One, because I felt that fight would go later. I think it had more to do with how I thought Vargas would approach it. And having saw how Zapata performed against Lundy and the roughness of the Baranchik fight, I didn't really expect that so much. Knowing that Thomas Delorme had 3 weeks to train, I expected an early knockout for Ennis. And the man pretty much made weight. That's how he trained for the fight. He had a 3-week training camp. So I expected an early knockout for Ennis. He's just so much bigger than Delorme, naturally. I don't care what heights say on BoxRec. He's so much bigger than him, physically, wider, more filled out. So I expected that. So yeah, Zapata knocking out Josue Vargas, who did really well against guys like Kendo Castaneda, etc. recently. Yeah, I didn't expect him to do him like that. Not like that. Not that quickly.
All right, I'm gonna take it to Jay. Jay, did you catch both cards, and which first round knockout did it for you?
Yes, I did. It was kind of annoying because I was trying to watch them both at the same time. It's like, I'm not going to pay attention to both, But then Ennis just ends Delorme, and I'm like, holy shit. Damn. Okay, well, thank you, Jaron. Appreciate that, buddy. Then I swap over to Zapata. He does Vargas at the same time. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I mean, but the knockout that impressed me most was Vargas. I didn't expect that to happen. I mean, I was kind of blown away by both, but what took me by surprise for the most part was the Vargas knockout. I mean, it's like Vargas just stumbled into that left that Zapata threw, and it's like that was all she wrote. And he was done, man. The ref should have probably called it right there and there because he didn't have his legs. Then Zapata just pounced on him and just finished him off in the ropes, and that was that. I'm like, oh snaps,
I mean,
what is going on here?
You could have called that fight when he hit the deck. You know what I mean? Like when he went down, like, bro, this dude is out. Like, forget it, he's out. B like.
Yeah. I don't honestly both surprised me though. I mean, both knockouts are this surprised. I expected
I'm gonna say this. I expected Ennis to, because look, this is the thing with Ennis, and Ennis should not be confused with a PBC fighter because he's literally not a PBC fighter.
I hope the guy he doesn't sign to them. I hope the guy he doesn't.
That's more or less what I'm alluding to. That the reason that you don't see Ennis being pushed as much as that we would like him pushed, because we see what he could do and we know how good he is because his people have a deal with Showtime. So he ends up on PBC cards, even though he's not a PBC fighter. He's not a PBC fighter. And I knew that Dulorme, he's cannon fodder. You know, you put it,
Yeah.
and I could name other guys that are cannon fodder. It's not even just Dulorme. Like if you put Kavaliauskas in there with him right now, yeah, he gets knocked out, and he gets
Yes.
knocked out before the
Yeah.
half. He does.
Did you see Blair the Flair Cobbs calling him out after the fight?
What is that? Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I saw that he was at the fight, and what that tells me is I don't know, and I'm not saying that he's not with Golden Boy, but I'm gonna say that I find it strange that Blair was there. You know what I mean? Because all right, Blair, if you willing to fight Ennis, why don't you just fight Virgil?
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Virgil's
Like,
the next best thing. He's the next best thing. So yeah. So like, why not? I mean,
and
honestly, like I mean, but Blair don't want that smoke from Jaron.
if you're a Golden Boy Promotions fighter, because that's what Blair the Flair has been. He's been a Golden Boy Promotions fighter, and if you're a Golden Boy Promotions fighter, you have an unbeaten prospect right there that has a buzz, like Ennis has a buzz, but you don't call him out. So you show up to a PBC event, right? And I'm like, yo, is Blair even still with them? And I'm not saying that he isn't, but it's just I saw that he was there, and I was like, yo, that's weird. That's weird. I'm gonna go to Battle Rifle. Battle Rifle, did you take in yesterday's cards? Okay, I'll assume that's a no. Napoli, politics aside, I'd love to see Boots against Virgil Ortiz. I would too, but you know, and I know, and we're all very cynical that we're not gonna get that fight no time soon.
Maybe ever.
Yeah, if we ever get that fight, we might not get that. And I said this shit 2-3 years ago that like we may not get Crawford versus Spence. That's just reality, bro. We may not get Wilder versus AJ. That's just reality.
Those fights are dead. They're dead.
Yeah, I'm being real.
They're dead. I'm keeping real too. It's like they're not happening. I don't see them happening at all.
So I'm gonna go to Box Watch. Box Watch, did you take in yesterday's cards? The Top Rank card and the Showtime card.
I only saw the Showtime card and I saw the Zapata fight and I saw the matchroom thing. What's my background like? What's my background noise like? That's what's making me determine whether I'm going to stay in there or not.
It sounds like you're in an auditorium, like it's mad people around.
Yeah, I'm in the train station, man, coming back home. All right, I'm going to say my little piece and go. That Zapata knockout was nice. I thought Vargas would have done a bit better, but I did know that Vargas was limited. I hear what Mark's saying about the Norme only having 3 weeks, so we did. Yeah, it was kind of expected that he was going to go through that quite seamlessly. And to be fair, even if the Norme had a full training camp, I would still expect my guy to just put him away.
Yeah.
But that Vargas knockout, the Zapata knockout, damn, that 2-piece, that was so sweet.
Those are 2 knockout of the year candidates within a 12-month time span. I think you could say that. Like, when was the Baranchik fight? What month was that?
Baranchik Zapata was oh god, I can't believe that. Like,
that was late last year.
That was last year. That was last year, wasn't it? That was late last year.
That was October the 3rd.
So we can say that in 12 months, at least within a 12-month pocket, Jose Zapata has come up with 2 knockout of the year candidates. We could say that, like, you know, the Baranchik fight, everybody loved that fucking fight. This didn't even get to turn into a goddamn fight. Like, he killed that shit, which is what I want to talk about. All right. Now, Lennox said that he felt that based on what he saw in the Lundy fight, Zapata is a shot fighter. So I'm going to go around the board and I'm going to ask, do you agree with that? Do you agree or do you believe that he's a shot fighter?
I'll answer quickly and then leave because I'm going to jump out of the chat. Zapata, I don't think that to say he's a shot fighter is not fair, but I don't think the win that he had yesterday against Jose Vargas is anything to judge him by. I don't think Jose Vargas is at the level. I still think he's up and coming. He's already taken a loss to someone of less of level of a Zapata, and he was on his way up. I don't think he's got 20 fights. I don't think he's got 25. So I don't think that fight. And he's a young boy, and you know, you could tell by the whole approach that he had in the ring that he was very much, I can't say scared, but he was very anxious. I don't know how to put it. He didn't look like he was up there willing to go and take this guy out, take out Zapata. Do you understand? Zapata put it on him and he kind of backed up. He backed up from the get-go, and then when they did get into the middle of the ring, he got slept. So I don't think that fight is a fight to judge Zapata's if he's passed it or not. I don't think that's the fight to judge him on. Once he fights someone with a bit more caliber, then we can judge him. But I'm gonna leave now, guys. Big up yourself. I'm gonna jump back in the chat. Yeah, big up.
All right. Leo, you caught yesterday's fights. I gotta ask, and I'm gonna go to Mark, and I'm gonna go to Jay after you. You saw Zapata versus Vargas, right? And just based on what you saw, because a lot of people thought this, it wasn't like it was just me or no. A lot of people thought this, that Zapata is a shot fighter. Do you now believe that he's not a shot fighter? What do you think?
I don't think that fight give us any information about that, really, because that opponent is not at the level to be fighting as Cepeda, for me.
All right, I'm gonna go to Mark. Mark, you saw what happened. Do you think that do you feel that Zapata could still be a shot fighter? Is that possible? Can you get a knockout like that but still be a shot fighter?
That's a possibility. It depends on the opponent's chin. My thing is, saying he's shot because of the way he performed against Hank Lundy isn't exactly 100% fair, because it completely ignores Zepeda's strengths and weaknesses. Zapata against Vargas did not have to cut off the ring. Against Hank Lundy, he would have had to, and he's never been good at cutting off a ring. He's good at counterpunching you at mid-range. Ask Jose Ramirez. When Kendo Castaneda was bouncing around against Zapata and moving away from his mid-range, he did very well. When he came to mid-range, he struggled. Vargas was at mid-range, and that's why he got annihilated. I don't think it has anything to do with being shot. There could have been a possibility after the war with Baranchik, right? But I think it was more styles make fights in the Lundy situation. He was negative. He stayed away from him, and Zapata can't cut a ring off. Not very effectively, anyway. He's never shown that he can.
I'm gonna go to Jay. Jay, do you think it's possible that even though he got a first round knockout yesterday, that he could still be a shot fighter based on the war that he had with Baranchik?
It's possible, but it's still we still don't know. That wasn't that fight. I'm pretty much in agreement with everybody else. That fight wasn't enough of a litmus test for us to really know, because it ended too fast. And plus, Vargas wasn't the type of caliber opponent to really see that. So he's gonna have. So Zapata's gonna have to have another step up fight pretty soon against like a probably top 40 contender for us to really know.
I think it's time to give him the shot. To be honest,
yeah, me too. Like he said, he wants Josh Taylor. We'll find out next. He could even fight Pedraza, because I don't know if you heard about this guy's and down in February next year, Jose Pedraza and Jose Ramirez.
I heard.
I like that fight. I really like that fight.
Look, I like how Pedraza's been looking.
Me too. Yes, sir.
Because he looked like his career quarter second when he looked good against that Danny Garcia looking kid. I don't know the kid's name.
He's proven himself to be formidable at 140. He really is. With
but
the
I'm
Rodriguez
say
win
this.
last time. Yeah.
Jose is not a small 140 pounder by any stretch of it. That dude is big for 140 pounds. That's a big old 140 pounder that Jose is gonna have in front of him. And already, I'm leaning towards Jose a little bit, because it's like, you beat a guy who was green, who was an up-and-comer, didn't have a lot of stripes, because you're a veteran. You got the veteran tactics. Against Jose, I don't know, man. I don't know. Before we get to that fight, let's talk about Butaev versus James. I'm going to go to Mark. What did you think about that fight?
Effective aggression. That's the tale of that. Jamal James didn't do a great job on keeping his length. He had a huge reach advantage, didn't keep it. Betoyev lapped it all up, broke him down to the body, got a bit dirty in there. He did get a bit dirty in there. Referee really mismanaged the fight, to be honest. Not the best
I
of
agree.
referee performances.
I do agree with that.
But that aside, yeah, Betoyev wore him out to the body, came over the top really well, made him struggle, brought him into a war of attrition, and was just damaging him. And yeah, there's not really too much you can really say. Like, it was a solid fight. It was fun. James fought well in spots, but it was mostly Betoyev who was running away with things, to be honest. And he's made himself a legit contender for the winner of Yordinas versus Imanta Stanionis.
All right, I'm gonna go to Leo. Leo, what did you think about that stoppage?
Sorry, I didn't see the fight.
Oh, you didn't see? All right, I'm gonna go to Jay. Jay, what did you think about that stoppage?
I'm kind of torn. Well, the ref could have let it go on, but James was taking a lot of punishment. He was pretty much that's almost a punching bag, more or less, throughout the whole thing. I mean, Butev just pretty much broke him down and just kept teeing off on him. And it's like, man, James, you got to throw it, do something. But, that just wasn't enough to offset what Butev was doing. So, it could have gone on, but I see no issue with it. I mean, I think the inevitable was probably coming anyway. So, the ref just probably saw the writing on the wall and said, let me just pull him out. So
I mean,
it is what it was.
it felt that way. It felt like I felt like James could have survived that round. I do think that he could have survived that round, but survived it and did what? Got punched in the face or punched in the stomach? You know what I mean?
He wasn't even throwing, really. I mean, he was just getting pummeled, So it's like, what could he have really done, anyway? If it had, I don't see it. So yeah, I just felt the writing was on the wall anyway.
I'm gonna say this. I feel like Jamal James probably been at welterweight a bit too long. That dude
How big is he?
He's 6 feet tall.
He's
Bro.
like 6'1".
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's what I mean, and
That's
I feel
freaking
like
huge.
I feel like what happened to Jared's punch resistance, and well, Jared was never a big puncher. He was a volume puncher at 54, but he was never really a big puncher per se. He just wear you out. I kind of feel like that's what happened. I don't know. Like, it's just when you that big and you making that weight, you're normally cutting down. Yeah, you're losing something, bro. You need to go where you feel sharp and healthy and invigorated. So there's a 6-foot man feel invigorated, cutting all the way down to 147 pounds. Mark, what do you think about it?
I didn't quite catch everything. What was everything, says?
Does a 6-foot man, you need to fight where you feel good and you feel strong and you feel invigorated. And given Jamal James's physical dimensions, does he feel invigorated making 147 pounds at 100?
I wouldn't say so. The man was exhausted after 6 rounds.
And I'm gonna let all right, Spade, man, your mic, Spade, your mic. You be having the worst signal, bro. What was I talking about? Jamal James, right? I think that, now that Jamal has taken that loss, I think that a fight that makes sense, because we know that Keith Thurman, he doesn't want nothing to do with no motherfucking Boots Ennis. We all know that. I think that a sensible fight and a sensical fight would have to be Thurman versus Jamal James. They're both coming off of losses, right? Thurman needs a rebound fight. He's not going to take on a killer straight away. Fight Jamal James. Does it happen?
No.
I don't think he'd be willing to fight Jamal James either.
I don't think Keith Thurman's ever going to fight again.
You think he's not just for banter, not just for shits and giggles.
No, I think he's retired.
So do I. I'm with Mark. I agree.
I mean, it's funny that you bring up Jared Hurd. You said that Jared Hurd was probably that guy. Well, you didn't say that. You said it about Jamal James. He probably stayed at 147 too long, and he brought up Jared Hurd. And the thing about Jared Hurd is, have you seen his Instagram?
Oh yeah, he looks huge, man.
If you look at his Instagram, it seems like he's just not motivated to fight anymore. So I think after that loss, he kind of pictured that I reached the ceiling that I didn't think I was going to hit. So I'm doing good right now. Dude bought a whole truck, and then out here in real estate right now. Like, yeah, I think he's not motivated to do it anymore.
Well, I mean, with Jared, and it's a pity because what I kind of thought that the PBC was gonna do was, you do a couple of fights at 54 that need to happen, that Hurd versus Charlo, stuff like that, and then regardless of whatever, the winners and the losers move up the middleweight and get in line for belts. That's what I thought the plan was. But I do agree with you that Jarrett don't seem motivated. He got his mind on other things. That's what it seems like. I actually don't expect him to come back. You lost to Luis Arias, so I mean, if you can't win that one, if you can't secure
He
that
should have beat that
W,
guy. He should have beat that guy.
honestly, honestly,
with Jared Hurd, Mikey Garcia, and Keith Thurman, I feel like those fighters have made the amount of money that they needed to make investments outside of boxing, and their heart is not in it no more.
I mean, I definitely feel that way for Thurman. Jared, I'm a little, like he could. There's a chance, for the right fight. Like if they offer him, this is the thing. I do feel that he's not motivated, but if they told him, "We'll put you on pay-per-view with Jamal," right? Not to say that that's going to happen because I don't really feel like that's going to happen, but I feel like he would walk into that situation. He'd have that fight. Once again, I don't think that's going to happen. There's a chance we get Canelo versus Charlo if Canelo stops playing and becomes undisputed. I think it's a good chance.
I
Good
mean,
chance.
Was hers the last fight at middleweight?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a middleweight fight.
Okay.
Yeah, he lost to Luis Arias.
Was that his
Rick,
first fight at the weight? Has he ever fought a middleweight before, or was that it?
Not that. I mean, I'm pretty sure that if I look on his box rec, I'll see
You'll
that
find
he's been at
something.
middleweight. You'll find a middleweight contest, but not at that level to where you're facing familiar faces. We're talking about club
Right.
fighters. He probably fought at middleweight.
Got it.
Comes to Butayev. Who is Butayev with? Because I want to see more of that guy. Who is he with?
yeah, Butayev pretty good.
Who is he with? As in his manager?
Yeah, his manager and his promoter.
I'll see.
behind him. I'm
He's with Vadim. He's with Vadim.
Okay.
Vadim Kornilov.
And he's not a PBC fighter, is he? I mean, like, in other words, when we want to see a Butayev fight, should we expect?
That's the only fight he's ever fought on PBC ever.
All right. But because the thing is that I feel like we can expect to see Butayev. Spade, your mic is killing me, bro.
Sorry.
Because because this is all geared towards fighting for Ugas's belt. I feel like we can expect to see him on Showtime again because it's for Ugas's belt. Now I have a question for everybody here: is Ugas gonna fight Stanionis?
If he wants to keep his title, he will.
Mark, do you get the sense that fight is gonna happen?
Not from Ugas. But then again, like I said, if he wants to keep his title, but then again, do I get the sense that the WBA will strip him? Probably not.
That's what I mean. That I don't know if if Ugas decides to stand on his square, do they do what they have to do? Because they didn't do what they had to do with Davis. You gave him a grace period.
Yeah,
I believe they're gonna.
I hope it happens. I hope the fight happens. I just look. He's been crying about all this communistic shit and everything, from the WBA. And look, the reality of it is, he didn't want to have to fight. He didn't want to have to fight Stanionis and Butayev back to back. Let's just be real. He don't want those two fights back to back. No, they're both really aggressive pressure fighters. You don't want to deal with two of them back to back.
Can I say this? One of them could, and I got nothing against Ugas. I don't, honest to God, but one of those guys beat him, if not both.
I don't think Stanionis beats him.
Nah, but Butayev really scared the shit out of me yesterday.
Well, but Butayev beat Jamal James worse than Ugas did.
Butayev is pretty solid, and I believe that he could upset one of those top welterweights with the big names.
What I'm gonna say about Ugas is right. Ugas beat an old manny, and I hate that this happens in boxing. Are these people fucking morons? He beat an old manny who hadn't fought in 2 years. That's his signature win. That is not Stanionis. That is not Butayev, and that is not what else is out there. You put that Ugas in there with Jaron Boots Ennis, he knocks his fucking block off, and his block. Yep. He knocks his block off.
Along with Virgil, put Virgil in there with him. He does the same.
Knocks his fucking block off, and It's like it's obvious what's going on with Ugas. You want to be on easy street. You want to survive long enough for Spence to come back. That's all you want to do because Stanionis hasn't beaten anybody, worth talking about. He hasn't. So why should beating him be a problem? You fight him, you beat him, you petition the WBA to give you an exemption to the mandatory. I'm sure that you can get Butayev to play ball. I'm sure you can, right? Throw that guy a couple 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. Hey, go sit on the couch. Or if you want, fight on the undercard of our fight. All right. I believe that's what they did with Povetkin when he was Anthony Joshua's mandatory challenger, because most people don't realize he had already agreed to step aside for the Parker fight. So they gave him David Price. You could, do that with Butayev. The way Ugas is acting, he's acting as like all this communist shit. Mark brought it up. And the belly aching, it's sickening, bro. It's sick. Like, do your fucking job, bro. That's
So
your
if
man.
Technically, he never won that belt in the ring. They gave it to him, more or less.
Pretty much.
if Ugas wins, he becomes the Super Saiyan 2 WBA champion, or like Super Saiyan 3.
Well,
I like Super Saiyan 4. Super Saiyan 4.
My understanding is that the WBA will give him a hairline if he wins the fight. They'll give him a
Get
hairline.
out of here, man! Ain't no matter.
Let her get my eyebrows.
eyebrows.
They give him some eyebrows. They give him
Get that
eyebrows.
ass, yo. They're gonna put him in that shit. That shit that Braun got. That shit that Braun be using. They're gonna get him that shit. So
You
you don't
mean
got.
like
You mean his hair's gonna fall out in the middle of a fight?
Did you see the
I got a crazy scenario. And like just bear with me, right? Bear with me, right? What if Ugas really wants the Errol Spence fight because he feels like Errol Spence is washed up goods, and instead of somebody else beating Errol Spence, he wants to be the guy to beat Errol Spence?
I dig that. I don't disagree with that, because underneath it all, we all feel that way. Even his butt boys feel that way, because the first excuse they're gonna go to is, oh, the car, oh, the retina, right? The thing is that if not for this process, guys like you, Ugas, that don't even really fucking have fans like that, because you don't have fans like that, and that's just the goddamn truth. I'm not saying it to be mean, I'm being real. If not for this process, guys like you would never sniff a belt. You understand? You never sniff a belt. You'd be like Hagler, that you had to have like 30-something whatever fights before you even get to fight for a fucking title, all right? Now, you got given a title by the WBA, and they got criticized for it. I didn't forget. They got criticized for stripping Manny, right? To give it to you. So you could turn around and talk about how they're communists. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Quit the belly aching, bro. Quit the
My
belly
thing is
aching.
like either fight Stanios or vacate the belt and stop wasting our time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the other thing is, look, you fight Stanionis, take care of him, just take care of him, and then you petition the WBA for an exemption to the mandatory. I think that under those circumstances, they would do it. If you can get Butayev to play ball, and I think they can get Butayev to play ball. Throw that guy a couple 100,000, like, look, here's 200,000, and you can fight on our undercard for extra, you know what I mean? They could get that guy to play ball. The way he's belly aching, it's almost like he feels like he's going to lose.
Oh no! A champion has to defend a belt.
Oh God! Oh no, they're not supposed to
you
do
can't
that.
have that in 2022.
How could you? I can't believe it, man.
I just won't allow
The
it.
sanctioning body want me to defend my title. They're communists.
And
You guys are supposed to protect me.
the worst thing is that it's not even like that's the only order that has come down. Arslan Gulamarian is under. I read the thing. There's like 3-4 guys that are under orders that that they're champions. They're full champions. They're under orders. You know what I mean? They're about to order Lee Wood versus Conlon. I believe that purse bid is about to roll around.
I love that fight, by the way.
You know who been moving suspicious to me?
IBF.
No. What's the name? What's the guy's name? The 75 pounder.
75. Who?
Huh?
Bevo?
No, not Bivol.
Beterbiev.
Beterbiev, because there are so many fights that he could have had already. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand that he had an injury. I think he had like a back injury or something.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that was during the Meng thing, and then Meng got COVID, and the Chinese, the government wasted on whatever, some bullshit to do with the course and everything. I don't even know. And then the whole anti-Muslim situation in China, that shit was crazy. And then Adam Dini's ended up being made the mandatory, and he beat him,
Yeah,
and now
but
he's got
like,
another, and now he's fighting his next mandatory battle in Marcus Brown.
yeah, like like if you know the full extent of better, like I understand where battle's coming from, because if you haven't kept up with the situation, you won't realize how big a clusterfuck it is. But it's a
It's
huge
huge. It's
clusterfuck. It,
like
he was supposed to fight Men Feng Long well over a year ago. It was supposed to be in China because a Chinese promoter won the purse bid. Then they didn't have the money, so they defaulted. The rights for the fight went to Top Rank, but the pandemic hit, COVID restrictions. This guy sits out a while. Obviously, Men Feng Long is out. Adam Dionese is in. You know what I mean? What I'm wondering
well,
is,
hold on. Then it's pushed back again because Beterbiev got the injury. Then he comes back from the injury. Fenlong gets COVID. Oh,
yeah.
fucking nowhere. Allegedly the only case in China. Right.
Didn't
Then
Beterbiev get it too? Didn't he catch it too?
he says, "Oh, we can't make it happen or whatever for like another 6 months, 8 months." The IBF stripped him mandatory. Adam Dini's is installed as mandatory, but Beterbiev beats him. That's all over like a 21-month period. It's
And
fucking
don't
insane.
forget that he broke a rib. He broke in between that of Fan
Yes.
Long and Dean. He broke a rib in sparring in preparation for the comeback fight. So it was
Yes.
just a clusterfuck.
He
It wasn't
was
even
Did
like,
supposed to
Beterbiev
fight.
test positive for COVID too? Did
I
he?
think he didn't
He
he though?
probably. I think
I
he
remember reading
may
that. I
have.
remember reading
Look,
up on that.
let me just say this, right? There's a possibility he did, just because there was like 19 like different things that happened in that situation. It's one of the biggest clusterfucks I've ever seen.
Yes, like
Hmm.
just man, poor Beterbiev, man. It's like just his talent is being wasted. It really is. You know, we should
Right.
see a lot more of that guy.
Well, his next fight's in December. He's fighting Marcus Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I know,
that's
I
a
know.
good
I mean,
fight.
I'm saying, but yeah, he should have just. I just wish he would have got a lot more fights
Bro,
in between,
do
like
you
the
guys
time when he
know
was
that
active.
2 years ago he was supposed to fight Joe Smith and Sullivan Barrera? Like that joint was just
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they
I
he
like how
was.
he
Yeah,
was supposed to fight them. No,
well.
um,
Actually, I think they had the Sullivan Barrera fight that was going to get signed until he was like, oh, he pulled out at the last minute.
I have a question for you
yeah,
about
but
what does supposed to mean.
Not
They
like
don't,
supposed.
either they were talked about. Doesn't mean they were supposed to happen. Supposed to fights are mandatory /
Yeah,
unifications.
but it was
listen,
okay.
yeah, but
Basically, when I heard about the Joe Smith fight, he was coming off the layoff then, and I was like, "This is going to be his comeback fight." And then there was like all of a sudden, like, no, he's just going to take a whole nother
What?
layoff. Okay,
Oh,
so after he beat the British cat, what's his name?
who
What's
beat
the
him?
British
Callum
cat?
Johnson.
Oh,
Callum
right,
Callum
Johnson.
right,
Johnson.
right.
oh, yeah,
He
yeah,
took
right.
the layoff, and then apparently there was some rumors that he was going to come back and fight either Joe Smith or Sullivan Barrera. That didn't happen. He went through another long layoff.
No, he didn't. He went to Top Rank and fought Hot Rod.
You talking about that 12-round fight?
Yeah, like
No, I'm sorry, it was after that. It was after that. It was either
he fought Johnson. I remember he fought Johnson on the zone. Then he goes to Top Rank. He fights Kalajdzic. He fights Kalajdzic, takes care of Kalajdzic, and not long after he fought Kalajdzic, he fought Vozdik. The layoff was after the Vozdik fight. That's when he went on like
But
Yes,
a
just
yeah.
so
That was like
battle,
2019, and then
battle,
he gonna
just so
fight
as you
Dini
know,
still at the beginning of this year.
Callum Johnson, the Callum Johnson fight goes over to Top Rank, beats Hot Rod, unifies with Vojtik. That's in exactly 12 months.
yeah, like he wasn't. It wasn't a layoff. The layoff that you're talking about, and I do agree that it was a long ass layoff. That like a lot of shit could have happened, but the main thing is this. Look. Sullivan Barrera got beat by Jesse Hart, didn't he?
eventually. But I mean,
But I'm saying that you saying that 2 years ago you felt Sullivan Barrera was a threat to the R tour.
I think honestly, no. Honestly, I think that was before the Jesse Hart fight even happened. This was
No,
like
I know what you mean. I'm saying if you go back to the time frame that you're talking about, at that time, right? You felt that Sullivan Barrera was a threat to our tour.
Well, it was because I wanted to see Artur in more of those fights. He was a guy who got clipped numerous times and fell down. He got
Was
knocked
this
down.
before or after Barrera got knocked out by Bebo?
I think it was after.
I'm gonna look.
But
Right.
but then again, I hold Bivol in high regard, so that's not really something.
I'm just gonna say this battle 2 years ago, right? Because I remember that time frame because I was pissed
Timeline's
off.
whack.
I was pissed off the layoff too, but I'm gonna say that I could wholeheartedly say 2 years ago I didn't give Sullivan Barrera any kind of odds. Like I felt that what would happen to Barrera is what happened to Dulorme last night with Ennis. Joe, bit more of a wild card. I'm not gonna lie about that. Bit more of a wild card, but you know what offsets that? Joe had the option of pursuing the unification match not that long ago with Better Beef. What did he choose to do? Umar Salamov and Danny Jacobs next year. He chose that. So if we're gonna look at Better Beef funny, we also got to look at Joe funny because that Joe Smith stuff is from like less than 12 months ago. Like you beat my man Maxime Vlasov, who has a fight coming up in Russia. You beat him
Technically,
right? And you had a choice. You on the same side of the street as Better Beef. If you want to do this fight, they can do this fight because that was their plan. It's your people that deviated from the plan. Your people was like, we want to fight Umar Salamov and then Danny Jacobs in a big Madison Square Garden fight next year. That's your folk that did that.
yeah, he
That
got
had fight of the year. That had fight of the year written all over it.
I think everybody could see that he got thoroughly embarrassed that fight. They wanted to gift him that decision so they could have a potential
did.
in a sense like war on war, mano a mano fight with Bivol. So I kind of just I kind of just see what it is in that situation. But maybe my time frame is a little off. But I definitely remember that at one point it was like, oh, Joe Smith is probably going to be fighting either Sullivan Barrera or Joe Smith, and I was like, what the heck happened to that? It just went out in the wind. And I was like, bro, these were like two potential fights that could have happened and just didn't happen. And like I said, I know about the injury. I didn't know about all the other stuff. About
like he like I'll say Artur has had a lot of unfortunate bullshit that happens, but what I'll also add to it is I don't think the Top Rank worked hard enough to make a B-Vol fight. The Smith stuff, that's Smith's people that want to do that. They want to get, you can see that they want to get more mileage out of the belt. You put him in a Better Beef situation, he could lose that fight. He could win that fight, if he lands clean, because I don't think Better Beef takes the best punch. But I don't blame Better Beef for that. I actually put that on Joe Smith and them because you could skip this mandatory with a unification match. Danny Jacobs, that's going to be a voluntary title defense, not a mandatory. You don't even have to fight him. And
it's funny you bring that up because now you see why I kind of wanted to see those fights because I know these guys wasn't the biggest as far as skills. Joe Smith, if I'm using an example, but I knew they could potentially knock Beterbiev down because
I just don't remember any of these timelines ever existing.
if I'm honest, me neither. I don't remember Sullivan being tabbed for Artur. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember that though.
Was Joe?
I remember the Joe Smith unification. I
tabbed?
remember the Joe Smith situation only a few months ago, but that's gone the other way because of Joe Smith and not Artur. But
yeah, like remember, go back. What you have to do, Battle, to retrace your steps is you have to go back to when he signed the Top Rank, which was not that long after the Johnson fight. And as soon as he got the Top Rank, they got him a fight, the Kolajdzic fight. He fights Kolajdzic, beats Kolajdzic. Not long after that, he gets the Vosdick unification match. The stretch where he didn't fight was after Vosdick. That's the stretch. But other than that,
so when did he win this title?
Who did he win that vacant shit? Because it was vacant when he won this shit. Who did he beat? Enrico Coley, was it, or was that Bivol who beat Enrico Coley? I know he won his title 2018, I believe it was, towards the end of 2018.
Okay, so before the Callum Johnson fight, did he go through a layoff or was he just active?
Yes, he did go through a layoff, but that was because of all right, I'll break it down for you. Remember, Artur used to fight on the PBC, and his Canadian-based promoter Yvonne Michelle, who also promoted Adonis Stevenson, several others.
He fought Campillo. Any thought? Well, what's the guy?
Let me break it down. Battle. Let me break it down for you. Okay, the reason that Artur Beterbiev got away from Ivan Michel and the PBC is because he wanted to fight 4 times a year. They didn't make that happen, so he got out of that contract. He goes to the zone. He makes 1 appearance there. But the layoff that you're describing, that's what you're talking about from before that. He wanted to fight more. They were not getting him out there as much as he would have liked. So he severed ties to them. He goes to the zone, and he's only there for a fight, the Johnson fight. After that, he went to Top Rank. But you can't put that on him.
Well, he won his world title. He actually won his world title on ESPN against Enrico Coley before going over to the zone.
If that's the case, he might as well stay with the PBC and he might as well stay with the PBC if he was going to be inactive anyway.
They would have never let him unify with Vostok if he did that.
Well, you got to remember who had you got to remember. I'm trying to remember. Was Stevenson still around? No, he wasn't.
Yes.
No, he was. He was still WBC champion.
Because Vostok beat him after he beat Coley.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not complaining about the way things happen. If I'm gonna complain about anything, and I'm just being honest, it's not Beterbiev, it's Joe. Joe, we were on the verge of consolidation, and it was Joe's people that wanted him to fight Umar Salimov and Danny Jacobs. I get it. I understand it. They're like, yo, dog, if I fight Artur, I might fuck around and lose. But if I could beat the shit out of Danny because Danny just got a gift against Gabriel Rosado. So I'm gonna try to fight him. I understand it. I get it. It's just it is what it is. Like, yo, we could have got unification. We're not gonna get. Well, I don't even know if we're gonna get that, to be honest.
What's up with Joe anyway in his condition? Anybody know?
The last I heard is he's doing well. I screenshotted a tweet. I haven't had the chance to talk about it, but the last I heard, he's doing well. He's stabilized. Okay. Everything is good.
That's good. Good to hear.
And hopefully we get it. I think towards the back end of 2022. I don't really think Marcus. Marcus is a good boxer. Let's be honest. He's a good boxer, athletic, southpaw, very chinny.
Will his chin hold up to the Beterbiev? Better yet, will his feet be able to keep him away from the Beterbiev? Maybe.
Who are we talking
chin
about?
Hold up when
Marcus
we're
Brown.
talking about Marcus Brown. Battle.
No, I'm my bad because it kind of lagged out for me.
If that the fight between Marcus Brown and Beterbiev, I feel like Marcus is gonna outbox him in the beginning, and then coming down the stretch midway towards the end, Beterbiev is gonna get to him.
That could happen because look, and just forget the outside of the ring stuff because we're talking boxing. Marcus, he got a lot of shit. Marcus is a good boxer for what it's worth. Like he is an asshole. But as far as boxing, he is pretty good. Like there's guys out there that he can beat. It's just that the idea that you're gonna keep this guy off you and he don't chin you for 12 rounds. Once he lands, it's over. It's over.
I'd be surprised if it goes past 8 rounds. If I'm being honest,
it could be one of those situations where it's just he could try his luck like. Okay, this is a joke just for you guys who are gonna take it seriously. He could just come up with a headbutt like he did against what's the guy's name? Jack. Come up with a headbutt and then follow it up and then get that cut.
I dig it. I dig it. But I'm gonna say that I don't really think Artur is. I mean, he is a little bit chinny, but I've never seen him really cut. I don't think he has a lot of scar tissue. I don't think he does.
Matter of fact, Julius, I don't know if you remember a while back because I was at this fight live. Marcus Brown fought this guy with a crazy name that no one could pronounce. They gave him a gift.
Hot Rod.
You're talking about Hot Rod.
That's
yeah. Hot Rod.
Yeah, Rajab.
All right, Hot Rod really did beat him, and Hot Rod put crazy pressure on him, and Hot Rod is nowhere near the puncher that Beterbiev is.
Yeah, that's why I have it the way I have it. Look, the only reason that Marcus Brown, or the only reason that his people is pursuing this fight is because the PBC ain't got no light heavyweights for them. Jack went to Pro Bellum, and he's a cruiserweight now. Pascal tested positive for like 1 million performance-enhancing drugs. Ain't no belts over there for Marcus to fight for. So he don't really have a choice but to pursue a Beterbiev fight. You don't have a choice. You know what I mean? But I do feel, yeah, he gonna get smoked. He gonna get smoked. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna put him in cannon fodder status. I think that he could win a couple of rounds, but when this guy lands, no, it's over. It's over.
Didn't that Richard dude fight not too long ago?
Craig Richards, yeah, he fought yesterday against. He was looking bad up until he started piecing that dude up. By the way,
Ring, what you think about that stoppage? You thought it was fair by the in a Richards fight yesterday? Or
all right, I'll put it this way, because I'm tired of answering this question this way. So what I'm gonna say is, was I satisfied with the stoppage? No. Because usually what I'll say is,
this is why I asked, because I think it was I. So,
yeah, usually what I'll say is I've seen worse, but that's gauging things low. You know what I mean? Like, why am I comparing it to the worst stoppage I've ever seen? Did I like the stoppage? No, I wasn't satisfied. I wasn't satisfied, and I wasn't
Which stoppage?
The Richards, Craig Richards was fighting yesterday. I forgot the guy's name. He was fighting
Katya or something, or there's something, some kind of name. He was, what was he? What was his? But he's some dude, but he had some weird last name. But yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't overly enthused with the stoppage against Matthew.
That's the guy. So
yeah, like
because
I've seen worse.
I don't want the guy to get brain damage. You know what I mean? I don't want the guy to get brain damage. But sometimes when I see that a fight is going a certain way, that fight was going a certain way. It was, and the
Like Batayev James.
And you could see that. I felt when the refs like, are you bailing Craig out? Because he feels that way. This fight wasn't going his way. He was getting touched up a lot, moved around a lot. It wasn't going his way. And as soon as there was a momentum shift, it kind of feels like, yo, you kind of, you helped him out a little bit. Like, it did feel that way. Now with Butaev, it wasn't like that, because with Butaev, you saw that he was breaking him down, and you saw that James was, at this point, you're just getting hit. So I didn't feel that way in that stoppage. But with Richards and this guy, I kind of felt like, yo, the ref is just, he kind of helped you out there a little bit. I felt like he did, because as soon as
got hit with a lot of right hands.
As soon as it starts going, as soon as the fight started going his way, oh, we got to stop this thing.
What round was it?
Yeah, what was it? The sixth?
It was sixth round.
Yeah.
Me personally, if it's like a fight where a guy is just getting like, how do I put this? He's getting beat up a little bit more than just battered. Like, I know this might sound crazy, but I would give him like a chance. I'll say, hey, I'm watching you real closely, but you got to show me something.
But that's what I mean, Battle. That it wasn't that long before that the other guy was getting in his ass. Like, nah, he was getting in Craig Richards' ass. It wasn't that long, and Craig just got through with some hard shit, and he started landing some hard shots, and that's why it felt like, oh, so as soon as there's a momentum shift, you're gonna. I dig it.
It's kind of like I don't know if you ever seen the Buster Douglas in the Razor Ruddock fight. He hit him with one combo. And then Richard still jumped in and was like, no.
Look, I love Lennox, right? I love Lennox Lewis, but that's what happened. Let's just be honest. You got through with a hard shot. He's got a big cut. They pulled you out, bro. They pulled you out because you wasn't looking good.
As much as I like to believe that Julius, he had a gaping hole in his face, so I was kind of like,
bro, he was still coming forward, still landing
his
shots.
corner, he stopped it. I thought it was his corner. I thought it was.
No, the ref stopped that shit. The ref stopped that shit. It wasn't, bro. Come on, B. I'm
gonna look it back up because I thought it was his corner.
Nah. It was the ref that stopped that fight. I remember because I was fucking furious. Beyond that, what else has my attention? I don't know if I asked Battle about the Zapata fight. Did I ask you about that?
Yeah, no.
All right, I'm gonna ask you, Battle.
You did, but he didn't respond to you.
There it is. Did you see the Zapata fight?
Yeah, I saw it. It was short.
All right, now before the fight, and I'm not just gonna abandon ship, because he could be a shot fighter. It's not just that he couldn't keep up with Hank Lundy. His timing was off. He looked off. Like, I don't disagree with what Lennox said when he came on here on Friday night, because that's how I felt. They're like, it's not just that he can't keep up with Lundy. That's styles right there, that Lundy's going to move around. He's not going to stand right in front of you for you to hit him. but he did look off. Like you did look a step behind Lundy. And we know that you were in a war late last year, with Baranchik. So what I'm asking you, Battle, is even though he got that knockout yesterday, first round knockout, is it possible that he is a shot fighter? Is it possible?
I mean, you could still be a shot fighter and still knock people out in devastating fashion. I mean, it's happened before. I mean, I didn't see, I didn't see people just saying he's going to beat the top 140 pounders now. So I think he is where he's going to stay. He's probably going to be a guy that gives you his toughest fight. I have to see more out of him because, like I said, when I saw that Baranchik fight, I didn't know he had that tenacity until I saw him fight somebody like a Baranchik. I thought Baranchik was going to destroy the guy, but he came to fight. And he has a lot more power than I give him credit for.
I agree with that, though. For some reason, after that Baranchik fight, it didn't register that, like, yo, don't let fucking Zapata hit you, bro. But now it registers like, yo, you can't let this fucking guy hit you, man. Like,
this punching power is very underrated.
Yeah,
he can crack, man.
That dude is fucking lethal. And what makes sense now, honestly, because I heard what Tim said, and I heard what Ward said, and the commentary was great last night, by the way, on ESPN. It's time for him to get his shot. Like, nothing else makes sense. It's time for him to get his shot. He was in a war with Baranchik to keep busy fighting Hank Lundy. He just took out a up-and-comer. I'm not going to say he's unbeaten because I'm pretty sure Vargas had, like, some weird shit that happened in there. But, it's time. It is time for him to fight for a belt. It's time. And if it's not for a belt, then it don't need to happen.
And right quick, who did Hank Lundy filmed it at short notice? Who did he replace? Because Zapata was supposed to fight somebody else, right?
I think he was, yeah. I think
who
he was.
Who was that? I can't remember who that was.
Me neither. I'm fucking old.
I'm getting up there too, man. Anybody remember?
I'm fucking old. I can't remember.
Damn, who was that?
Does what's the name want to move back down? The guy who fought Virgil Ortiz.
Oh yeah, he does. Lipinets. He does want to move back down.
He does?
Yeah, he did say that literally. That's the plan. He's going back to 40.
Yeah, he could fight him.
I mean, shit. Who you talking about, Zapata?
Yeah. You don't think he'll win?
Bro, what the fuck is he gonna fight Lipinets for? Is my question.
Lipinets? No, not Lipinets. I'm talking about the other guy.
Who?
Orozco?
No, the other guy Virgil Ortiz fought.
Marisoka?
Yeah.
He can't make 140. Are you crazy?
That dude's not going back to 40, bro. He was killing himself. Y'all seen that late Pierre fight, bro? He was killing himself to make that fucking weight, man.
Oh,
he's a welterweight now, so yeah.
He like
I say Pedraza is a good option if he wasn't fighting Ramirez.
I mean, we talking about for Zapata. Listen, for Zapata, the only thing that makes sense is a title fight. At this point, that's the only thing that makes. He already fought 2 times this year, so he could take the rest of the year off. He could come back in the summer, and I think, it's time. He needs a title fight. He don't got nothing more to prove. Like, now it's all right. I need to fight for a title.
Yeah, but Josh Taylor.
What about Prograis? Prograis still floating around.
Yeah, but that is not.
You're right. He does need a shot.
As a boxing fan, right? If you told me Zapata Prograis, of course I'm gonna watch it. Of course I want to see it, right? Of course. But I'm saying that for Zapata, what makes sense for Zapata? Yo, dog, you was in a goddamn war with Baranchik, right? You was in a war. Yeah. You just took out this young dude, 23 years old, whole career ahead. You just took him out in a round. It's time for a title shot. It is. Yeah, it's time. It's time.
He should get a shot. You're right. It's time. It's time.
The question becomes now: does it make sense for Josh Taylor to take that fight?
Well, financially it does because Zapata versus Taylor does business. The question is, does Josh Taylor want to keep fighting in the United States? Because that fight does make money in America. Yeah, that fight will make money. That's and when it comes to that, that's when it starts getting fuzzy. They're like, well, why does the reigning champion got to keep coming over here? He undisputed. He whooped ass. He whooped all his ass, and he got to keep coming over here. What type of shit is that?
He can stay in Scotland for the rest of his career for all I care. I
I'm
don't care.
saying,
I still watch him fight. I still watch him
yeah,
fight.
He probably can make more money in America. You never know.
but he's got Sky now. You sure?
I mean, it depends on how many people are watching him. That's not in a sense Scottish over here.
All right, I'm gonna say this. I feel that Sky can push him better than ESPN can. I feel that.
Yeah,
Sky-
because Sky can push him to his own audience. ESPN can't.
I mean that's a good point because ESPN doesn't really promote fights unless it's
Never mind promoting fights. ESPN isn't in the UK. That's where Taylor's fans are. He can be
ESPN is American based, so yeah, so
he can be
ESPN is going
pushed to his demographic, man. Like Josh Taylor could hypothetically get a whole country behind him in Scotland.
Which is why I say it depends on how many people are watching Josh Taylor who are not Scottish in America. But I guess you could say that's not a lot of people.
The question is, look, let's put it this way: can Zapata versus Taylor do good business on his side of things? Yes, it could. Yes, it could, because the Brits know boxing, so they're gonna know Zapata. But are the Americans gonna know Taylor? Fuck no. The Americans are xenophobic. They think everybody has to. And I'm sick of it, to be honest. Like, I'm sick of it. He had to come here for the Undisputed. He won the fucking World Boxing Super Series. But we got the fight, and that's great. The fight is over now. He's undisputed. He's lineal. He won the Muhammad Ali trophy. All of that. Why the fuck does he keep having to come over here? That's not right. If it was one of our fighters, if it was one of our fighters, they wouldn't. See, this is the thing over there. Since he's got Sky can maybe do a pay-per-view, maybe if they push him and they promote him and they use their platform, because they have a big platform. He has more of a chance of being a pay-per-view guy over there with Sky than he does over here with ESPN. This shit is not right, man. This shit is not right.
It ain't. Shit needs to change, man. You're right. You're right.
The shit is not right. Like everybody expects everybody to come over here and suck America's dick. Like, nah, you wildin', B. That dude put mad work in already. Why he gotta do that? Look at the Fury shit, which kills me, right? Every single fight in the trilogy was in America because the American don't want to get on a plane. You
How about
fucking that shit kills. Like, yo, really? Look at Leo. Leo was supposed to give Carl a fight in Belfast. Did he do it? No. Nah, man, that's not right, man. That's not right. That's not
All
right.
I'm saying is that second fight, the rematch between Wilder and Fury. If they had done it in the UK, they would have done 80,000 seats and 1 million pay-per-view, boys. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's and motherfuckers keep acting like the dollar. Motherfuckers keep and I don't know why they do. I don't know why people don't check on stuff like this, but you do realize that UK money is worth more than US money. You understand that? Like 6 million in pounds is actually more in dollars because the pound is.
I'll tell you how much it is right now.
Go ahead.
6 million.
Please do.
So that's 600,000. 6 million GBP to USD would equal, on a raw basis, it would be 8.2 million.
I'm sick of the prima donna shit. I was live on Friday, right? And the AIBA tournament is going on. And they said that there's no US representation. There's no US, and I'm like, so why the fuck is everybody supposed to kiss America's ass then? We ain't got it like that. Simple.
What do you mean there's no US representation? Team US is repping it up over there.
I was told the opposite. Lennox is over there. He said he's at the tournament, or he was on his way to it, and he was like, yo, there's no US heavyweights. There's no US guys. That's what he said.
Harvey from the US just knocked out the reigning AIBA world champion from 2019.
I didn't know that. But this is based on what Lennox told me on Friday. I'm like,
really? You have a whole team over there, man.
I didn't know that.
What where was Lennox?
He said he was boarding a plane, or he was about to board a plane to attend the AIBA tournament.
So there's no representation for America because they don't have a super heavyweight there? Okay.
It might have been that he was talking about that division specifically. It might have been. But in any event, these foreign fighters shouldn't have to bend over to America. And that's my point.
Hey,
It shouldn't
question for
happen.
everybody on the panel, right quick. What are you guys' thoughts on Johnny Fisher? I don't know about y'all, but I really like that kid for some reason.
He's fun to watch, but it's too early to know what he's gonna be. But he's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
fun to watch, and I take him for what he is. He's a young fighter who's fun to watch. Like Babic, I take him for what he is. He's an unbeaten guy who's fun to watch.
Hold on.
Yeah. Let's see.
A question for everybody. What do y'all think about Blair Cobbs?
I think Blair. I
Oh,
saw Blair's last 2 fights, and he's a knockout waiting to happen. Ennis will knock him out. Ennis will knock him out. Ortiz will knock him out. Give him the Ennis
yes.
fight. If he want the Ennis fight, go ahead,
Yeah,
give
yeah,
him the
yeah.
fight.
Give it to him. Give it to him. Yeah,
Give him
yeah.
the
He
fight.
needs another highlight run knockout on his
Yo,
on his
Spade,
record.
I've an honest question for you. Are you Blair the Flair Cobbs? Because that sounds like something that Blair the Flair Cobbs would do when nobody's talking about him, would just pipe up and be like, "Hey, yo, what do you think about Blair the Flair Cobbs?"
Nah, look, Blair could be a Blair to me is not being put in the fights that he needs, and that's what'll get him knocked out. Blair needs to be fighting. No, real shit. Blair needs to be
Who is
fighting.
he? Who is he beat? Who is he beat
Nobody.
anyway?
Nobody. Blair needs to be fighting
Hey,
Okay,
Avanesian.
yeah, all right.
Hold on. Blair needs to be fighting Avanesian and Kavaliauskas and maybe a Maurice Hooker. Guys, you're
Oh,
not
you?
fighting
We
Oh, but you
can't
trying
keep
to
nobody
get him
like
using
killed,
that.
bro. Ray, you
Brand,
trying
we
to get him
can't keep
killed?
using Avenue and caveats as a litmus test for
I'm
147 because
Why not?
bro, because
Ray, you trying to get
like
him killed? Avenue should kill his
yeah, like
ass.
they're gonna end, bro. They're gonna end up. He gonna end up Blair Kelly. That's gonna be his new
Blair
name.
Cobbs stopped Brad Solomon as fast as Virgil Ortiz did.
That don't mean nothing. By ring account, he still can get knocked out. His defense is leaky.
He could get knocked the fuck out. Virgil's defense is leaky, by the way.
Yeah, it is. He gets touched.
I
He
mean,
gets touched.
So is Jerron Ennis's defense is leaky.
Despite that fight,
Honestly,
despite that despite the Delorme fight being as short as it was, Delorme got
you
in a
just
couple
you
good
just
right
turned up
hands.
reading out to your stomach. You heard that sigh, that heavy sigh.
Now I don't know if I could call. See, this is what I think Jaron is doing. Jaron know, and this is gonna sound familiar.
Did he do it against Ayabov too?
I didn't see the eyeball fight.
That
I didn't
fight,
see the
he
eyeball
was good
fight.
enough for it.
He got teed off on a bit in that fight, man.
And
He
maybe
doesn't
you know
have the
what?
best defense.
And maybe you know what? Maybe Virgil is doing it too because Virgil knows what he has. Ennis knows what he has. They're like, yo, yeah, you could touch me, but if I touch you, you gonna be fucked up. And I kind of think that's what's going on. They're like, yeah, he might get touched by a couple of shots. You're gonna get hit, you know. You are gonna get hit. But
Ray, who do you favor in a Virgil and Ennis, an Ortiz and Ennis fight? How do you see that going? Like, would you give it a 50-50?
technically, I like just boxing. I like Ennis more. But
Yeah.
Virgil is a supreme physical specimen. Like it's a strong young guy, dog. He's strong
Who
and
could punch?
who can punch and take a punch. So it's like, yo, dog. It's how could I put it? The strong guys that are physical, they don't get enough credit for being able to be strong and physical. That should have caused a finesse fighting motherfucker to start coming apart at the seams. Like, yo, this motherfucker won't leave me alone. Like, go away.
I could
Like
give
Hurd
you
and
a
Lara.
perfect
Hurd and
comparison.
Lara. Hurd and Lara. Lara is a better boxer than Hurd by far, but the size, the power, the pressure, staying on him.
The physicality.
Yeah,
Yep.
that like yo.
And also, I mean, I think it's kind of established at that point that Laro is just not that type of fighter that's just going to be boxing circles around these guys who know how to pressure good. Like he didn't look good against the short guy who fought Jermel either. So I mean,
Castaño, and he didn't look. Angulo, like it's an unwritten rule. Pressure fighter, pure boxer, that favors the pressure fighter. What? Because you want to take your time and pick your shots. You want to be cerebral. This motherfucker not gonna let you do that. He's gonna be all over you like a cheap coat.
yeah, unless you can tie him up.
Chavez. Mildred Taylor versus Chavez.
I mean, that was kind of bogus on the decision with the stoppage, but I mean, honestly, I think it's kind of like a cobweb. Unless you're just gonna be like Josh Taylor, and I'm just gonna wrap you up, and physically stop you from punching me. Yeah, you're probably going to get dealt with pretty soon.
Lara is a better boxer than Jarrett Hurd. I think we all can agree on that as far as technique.
Man,
But
get out of here, Ring.
no,
Gary
he
Can
is.
I
has the best jab. I'm just joking. Go ahead.
ask you a random question? Who's the best welterweight Jerron Ennis has beat?
You could probably say either Delorme or what's the guy you
Lipinets.
fought last?
Yes.
Yeah, Lipinets.
Well, yeah, because Lipinets, as we know, as we know, Lipinets has such an extensive resume at 147 with his draw with Castillo Clayton.
Listen, this the shit. This the
But
shit.
like,
Hold
I'm
on, hold
pretty
on.
sure
Let me do this shit. Let me do this shit. We cannot blame Ennis that he is literally not being given access to the fighters that we want to see him fight. He's
I know.
not, because he's not a
I-
PBC guy. Like, so I can't hold that against him. By all rights, he should be fighting Danny Garcia. He should be fighting Keith Thurman. But it's
He
not
should.
on. He should, but they're not gonna fight him. They're not.
I'm just saying I can't hold it against him. I also can't credit it to him. Right? I've always been in that thing. I don't know how good he is because I ain't seen him beat a welterweight yet.
I agree. I do agree.
I actually haven't seen him beat a welterweight who's even good. I've seen him beat Delorme, who is a 140 pounder at his best. I've seen him beat Lipinets, who's a 140 pounder, and he is outsizing all these guys. I haven't seen him in the ring with a 147 guy who is actually of note. I had the same criticism of Virgil. Okay, yeah, you beat Morris Hooker. Okay, you got a Roscoe. Okay, you got an old Herrera. Okay, Brad Solomon, whatever. Yeah, but Egas validated that. And that was his hardest fight, the second he fought a real welterweight. There is a difference. So I don't get overhyped or overdrawn. So as it stands right now, I think Virgil would knock him out.
I mean, that's possible. He hasn't had a chin test. And he has almost 30 fights, no chin test. No chin test, right? Like Virgil had a chin test. Ennis hasn't had one yet. And for all I know, everybody conveniently forgets that Lubin had a cult following before that uppercut from Jim. I don't even know what the hell
that was a right.
Julius, you a bitch. Shut your ass up. Julius is laughing because he knows I was on the Lubin hype train back then.
I didn't even know, bro. I didn't even know that. Like, I was on Facebook. Hold on, wait. I was on Facebook.
Yes, but I've been watching boxing for a while.
I remember. Listen, I remember. Lubin had a following. All the Facebook guys, they loved him, and I'm like, but he hasn't fought anyone. And they're like, no. You know, I test. I'm like, he hasn't fucking fought anyone. I'm going Charlo. Any way you slice it, I go Charlo. And I blinked during the fight. And when I blinked, I saw him go like, I was like, yo, what the fuck just happened? They had to replay shit. Little short.
Isn't he mandatory again? Is he mandatory again?
I believe he is.
Listen, now I don't know if you guys were aware, but like I've always talked about the guys I was high on when it came to prospect. Burchell was one of them at one point. I was real high on Amir Mom and Erickson Lubin.
Sorry.
Oh, can you not, bro? Come on.
I'm sorry, the Amir Mom one's always really funny.
How was that funny? The dude was good at the time. So anyway, bro, he beat the now WBA super duper guy. So
you mean the super huge 147 guy who was drained as fuck at 140? Cool.
Yeah, that's his fault, bro. Nobody forced him to come down. He was fighting at 140 at the time.
Yeah, I know, but you can't say that just because he does things in a different weight division. You can't equate it to being successful in one division. They're different divisions, and they help your body in different ways. Common sense.
Ugas took that loss and got better. He found out that Amir Mom was the type of guys he had to beat. So that was.
Ugas took that loss, retired for a year and a half, went over to Ishmael Salas, begging him to train him.
Yep, which is what I just said. He took that loss and he had to learn from it. So basically, when it comes to Erickson Lubin, I was real high on Erickson Lubin too. He was a guy like I really, really saw beating Jamel. And actually, in actuality, Ring IQ, I lost money on that fight. I actually bet on Erickson Lubin to beat Jamel because Jamel's the favorite. He wasn't that high of a favorite, but he was a favorite.
I'll say this. Look. At that time, right around that time, and this is when I liked both the Charlo brothers. I liked them both at or around that time, Mel and Maul.
Wow.
Yeah. This was the videos are still up.
Too.
When it came to J-Rock, I'm like, yeah, J-Rock look alright, but he ain't fought shit. He hasn't fought shit. Hits him with that counter uppercut. I'm like, yep, see?
They're like, what is going on with the 154 pounders in PBC? Rosario, J-Rock, Tony Harrison, Jared Hurd. It's like they're all just like on a dry. It's like they're all just cursed or something right now.
No, it's not that they're cursed. It's that they look. If you look,
Things change, and that division is a look. Can I try this one, Julius, real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Can I try? So things do change in boxing, right? And they've been around for quite a while, and there's been a lot of competitive fights and difficult fights. And fighters who stay in divisions too long or in too many tough fights, they start to deteriorate. And the fact that this is an ever-changing division that always has to have competitive fights within it because it's in between two marquee divisions, welterweight and middleweight, you always get really competitive fights, and you always have a smorgasbord of top-tier prospects coming through trying to fight, and then you have possibly the deepest in-depth division of competitiveness in the whole sport. They're going to fall off.
Well, that and look at the size of these guys, AJ. Look at Jason Rosario.
That's true. These are some big dudes. I'm surprised they're not fighting the middleweight or super middleweight.
These are guys. These are guys that should have been at middleweight at least a year or two ago. Jared Hurd is too goddamn big to have stayed there that long, and so is Jason Rosario. That's why he can't even take a hard shot. He goes right out, and Jermel don't move up soon. That might be him. Like, yo, dog, you been here too long. What are you waiting for?
Does the Lubin knock out Rosario with a body shot? Was it a body shot that took him out in that fight? I think it was.
Was it? Yeah.
Like I think Rosario has has stomach ulcer or something. This guy cannot take body shots. Like, it's just weird.
No, he can't, man. Lubin just landed the good one and broke. I'm like, oh damn, man.
Listen, I think it's
a jab to the body.
Rosario is too fucking big to be trying to make 54. That's what I think. I think he's too fucking big. The ideal guy who is in the ideal condition to be at junior middleweight is Brian Castano. You're not supposed to be that big. You're supposed to be a nose hair away from a welterweight. Now, Brian can't make welterweight. He can't, but he's not so goddamn big that he's fucking killing himself. You got guys 5'11", 6 feet at fucking 154. That's ridiculous, bro.
I mean, come on, look at Sebastian Fundora, bro.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, but he's the only reason he gets a pass is because he's young. Like that. He's young enough to where he's not paying the price for it. But as he gets older, bro, you can't stay here. Look at Shakur.
Bro, look at Willie Nelson.
It didn't take Shakur very long to move up from featherweight to super featherweight because they know you can't keep making him cut down to fucking featherweight. He's still growing. Like, you gotta let him progress.
Have you seen a Willie Nelson fight with Tony Harrison?
Willie Nelson looked like them stick bugs that you see on the trees.
Bro, I swear to God, did you ever see the opportunity?
I'll ever see Bugs Life?
Yeah. Did you ever see those?
It built like one of the grasshoppers, bro.
Did you ever see those optical illusions where they'd be like, which one is bigger? And they'll have a guy up front and a guy in the back. Like, bro, I swear to God, bro, he looked huge against Tony Harrison.
I'm gonna say Andre beat the fuck out of Willie Nelson. I remember that fight. I think that was the last Willie Nelson fight I ever seen when Andre beat the fuck out of that guy. That was 3, maybe 4 years ago. I remember that fight. And you can't be 6 feet tall or approaching 6 feet tall, and you're making 154, bro. There's guys at middleweight ain't even. Esquiva Falcao, right? Not even a big middleweight. Gennady Golovkin, not a big middleweight. Like Ryota Murata, he's about 6 feet tall, but he's not a big burly middleweight. And you got guys at junior middleweight, 6 feet fucking tall. They don't need to be down there making that weight. That's why they're going out like that. Been there too long.
They end up dry as hell.
Pretty much.
That's why I think it happened to Earl. To be
They're
honest,
not they're not getting warmed up enough. Like George Foreman said, their back is a little too dry. They're not getting warmed up pre-fight.
So, with that being said, we've talked about the fights that I'm not going to talk about in-depthly in the weekend recap because there was a lot of fucking fights yesterday. And it's like, yo, am I going to do 2 weekend recaps or should I just go live about the ones that I ain't going to do? You know, because there is a lot of, like, that Sultan fight, that Sultan Carabao, oh my God. That was a good-ass fight.
I got to rewatch that shit.
That was a good-ass fight, man.
I didn't see that fight. What happened?
This Sultan yo, he dropped
5 knockdowns battle. That's what happened. 5 knockdowns. 4 knockdowns on one fight, one on the other.
Yo, and he just
what
kept
was this?
eating.
Yesterday?
This was
Yes.
yesterday. This was yesterday on the undercard of Zapata.
This was the co-main, the co-main, right? Co-main?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, the co-main to
God bless Top Rank for that. We just get gems sometimes, don't we?
Yo, we did
really
though. We did because that whole card was lit. Like I'm like, yo, dog, this dude is just eating all these straight left hands, and his head will go all the way, and he won't go there. I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this? B? Who is this guy? Like, bad motherfucker, man. Like, I can't wait to see more of him. That's a bad motherfucker. That is a bad motherfucker. As far as Ennis just moving forward, I don't know what's next, bro. Because who are they gonna conjure up for him to fight, man?
Who's left? Who's left in the walkthrough? I mean, that's why he's free. He needs to go elsewhere and start fighting on other networks and platforms.
He does.
He really does.
Who does?
Ennis, man. Ennis. Who's he gonna fight now?
I think what's gonna happen, possibly, I have heard a little rumor that there's a possibility Spence is gonna get removed from the IBF.
And he'll fight Abdul Kakarov?
And it's gonna, it'll be Abdul Kakarov Ennis for the vacant IBF.
Because I don't see Spence fighting him, if I'm being honest. I really don't.
Nah,
and if
Spence
he does fight,
come on, bro.
No,
like look, I'm gonna say this, and I don't care. If that, whatever anyone thinks my motivation is, Ennis will beat the fucking brakes off of Spence right now. The brakes.
Yes, he will.
The brakes.
He'll stop Spence. He'll stop Spence.
He'll stop Spence. This is a guy who was in a car accident. His retina becomes detached while he's wearing headgear.
He's lucky if he goes past 7 rounds with boots.
Spence can't park next to Ennis. How about that? In the parking lot, he can't park next to Ennis. Like, you can't park next to that guy, bro. That dude will beat the shit out of you, yo. And that's for real. Battle. Ennis will beat the shit out of Spence.
What about a healthy Spence?
What about him? What's the best thing a healthy Spence ever did that I'm supposed to look at him like, yo, I've been saying this.
Be the champion.
So what? After Gennady beat him? After Gennady beat the brakes off him?
He fought Sean Porter too.
Yeah.
Ennis ain't been in with dudes of that level yet, bro. To be fair.
Campo is probably better than most people. Okay, but maybe that's a little too far. But
well, I mean, he is on a winning streak though. He is on a win.
Carlos Ocampo would be Ennis's 3rd best win.
You talking about behind Delorme?
I gotta ask you guys the hard questions. I have to.
Jake Paul.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a Mark. I got Jake as well.
All right. Battle.
Jake Paul's a more seasoned boxer than that bull.
I mean, I like the jab on Jake is what I like.
I've never seen Tommy fight.
You ain't missing nothing.
Hey, Battle, have you seen Campbell Hatton fight?
I'm sorry, what?
Have
you seen Campbell Hatton?
Yeah, that was the last fight, wasn't it? On the zone? His last fight?
Campbell, Tommy makes Campbell look like Pernell Whitaker. How about that shit?
He's that bad? Is he just uncoordinated?
I'm exaggerating.
Is he uncoordinated?
They're both terrible, honestly. They're both just as terrible as each other.
I'm gonna be honest, Jake Paul, you have something to work with. At least he's got a right trainer that gets him on track with his conditioning. He has a good jab, he has a good right hand.
BJ, you talk about BJ.
Tommy Fury has the same level of skills as Teddy Atlas has at not running his mouth.
All right, but let's say this battle. It's not even that. He's a Capricorn. He's a Capricorn, bro.
God.
Yes. I know you don't fucking want to hear it, but it's the truth. It's the fucking truth. He's a Capricorn, goddammit, and he
Oh,
has the
he
spirit.
overreaches. He overreaches.
He has the spirit, bro. The spirit. He got it. Like Jake
Spirit
is
bomb. Give me your energy.
he's about the action, bro. Like that's what he's about. Jake is with the shits, bro. And he might knock this motherfucker out.
Man, it's a Capricorn spirit that's gonna get him. That's gonna get him that payday. All these fights he fighting these
Saying, look, when you got the Capricorn spirit, there are extremes because there's also Gabriel Rosado. And there's also the latter half. There's also Derek Chisora.
He came up his best win.
That's true, but you know, I'm just saying that. Look at how much shit happened. There's also, along with the Capricorn spirit, you can't, you know, David Lemieux, Gabriel Rosado, Derek Chisora. You know, Roy, he stuck around a bit too long. That was the Capricorn spirit, though. That's what that was. Like, my guy, just all right, stop. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be fighting no more. Stop. Enzo Macaroni knocked the shit out of him. I never forgot that. Like, yo, Roy, you need to stop, bro. Like, I don't know what you're doing up here with these guys, B.
Hey, Ring, did Roy Jones howl in that fight when he was getting pummeled into the ropes or something, like in the corner? Like, did he yell?
Oh! I just remember, I think it was an uppercut. I think it was an uppercut that put him. I was like, yo, this has to stop.
I remember that. Gets cracked at an uppercut and goes, oh!
Man,
Like, what the hell
it's
was that?
sad,
I'm like,
bro.
oh,
Like that.
Oh man, that shit. Oh, it's like, oh, poor Roy.
It's not as bad. It's not as bad as the Lebedev one where he got caught with the left hook, and as he's going down, you literally hear like just one little noise just as he gets clipped, and it's just.
Yeah, man, that Enzo, whatever his name is,
Macaronelli.
man. Oh my god, that was sad. I was just like, Roy,
Enzo beat
please
the shit out of
stop.
Enzo. Look, Enzo beat the shit out. What was that? 2016? He beat the shit out of Roy.
Can we not talk about that, man? This is painful.
So we got what's the fight that there's one more fight I want to talk about. I think it's Coley versus Breedis because I believe that's what's next. There's nothing standing in the way now. Not really. And I just don't know about that fight. I'm like, yo, Breedis, look. That's how I feel because I'm like, yo, okay, Coley got McGuigan. And with McGuigan, he has more of a jab. But Breedis has seen a jab before. And what else you got? Because you're going to need more than...
Could he take a Coley's power? How would he respond to Coley's power?
Yeah, he can take his power.
I think he can because he fought Dorticos. But then again, he didn't get hit clean by Dorticos. It was...
Here's one thing. I don't think Breedis has ever had that level of a reach disadvantage / height disadvantage.
Nah, Dorticos is about 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, but Lawrence Coley's like 7'9".
No, he's not 7 foot.
Oh my god!
I mean, he's not gonna. He's not gonna. I don't
What
think.
is he, an avatar?
I do agree with you, Mark, that Coley has more dimensions than Dorticos. He is bigger than Dorticos. He is, but he's not as seasoned as Dorticos. So that's what upsets that. They're like, you don't have as much experience as he. Like that's the KO Doctor.
Holy shit! Dorticos has an 80-inch reach, and he didn't use any of it in that fight.
Yes, he did. He tried.
He tried. The guy he was moving around.
That motherfucking little angle and that up jab from Breida. I was watching that shit. I was about to have goddamn orgasm. Like,
so Coley has an 82.5-inch reach.
He's gonna use that shit.
I'm gonna be honest.
And he's 6'5", and he uses every fucking inch of that.
Not more
than is extremely crafty.
Not more than you're not gonna tell me that Coley jabs more.
Hey, Ring, a quick question. You know the Rosado Munguia fight?
Yeah. I mean, like, look, Munguia. This is the thing about that fight.
Is that a middleweight? Is that a middleweight?
That's a middleweight. But Gabe gonna get knocked out, bro. Like he's gonna get knocked out. Like trust me, he's gonna get he's gonna get knocked out because Munguia has a chin, bro. Like Bektemir got caught with an ugly ass shot that was set up beautifully. His chin was out there. He was taking chances. Munguia takes chances, but Munguia could take a punch. Go back and watch the Johnson fight. He got hit with a lot of shit, but he took it. If you look at the Takeshi Inoue fight at 54, he got hit with a lot of shit, but he took it. He could take it from he could take a shot from Gabe, bro. He's gonna knock Gabe out, bro. He is.
Gabe who?
Rosado.
You're joking, right?
He's gonna knock him out, bro.
He's not gonna knock Gabe out.
All right, let's
No,
make
he's
it
not gonna
simple.
knock him out. He's gonna TKO.
He's gonna knock him out, bro. All
I
right,
doubt
He's
it.
He'll
gonna
probably take him
battle,
TKO him.
Like
battle,
eight to TKO.
battle. He's gonna knock him out, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I doubt it though. I mean, it has
Battle. He's gonna battle. Battle.
on the fight, but
Ba-
160.
battle. He's gonna knock that guy out. All right. He's gonna
No,
knock him
I'm
out.
asking
I'm
questions.
rooting for Gabe.
Well,
I
I'm,
gotta root
gonna,
for
I'm
Gabe.
gonna tell you. All right, let me break it down for you why he's gonna knock him out. All right, the Bektamir Melakuziev fight was at 168 pounds, which I've always felt is a better weight for Gabe because Gabe is not a little guy. Like he's not little. He's close to 6 feet tall, if not 6 feet tall. Right. The Munguia fight is at 160. I can't even remember like when is the last time Gabe fought at 160? So you might be drained. That's one. And the guy that you fighting, he has a lot of punchers. It's like he take a punch, bro. All right, he's gonna knock him out, bro. He's gonna knock him out.
I highly doubt it. I think he's
The
probably
last time Gabe fought at 160 was Maciej Sulecki.
Ooh.
That was what third.
What?
That's
Remember that
what
guy?
that's like 2 years, right? Mark, 2 years.
March 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So
that's
2.5 years ago.
Yeah,
bro.
I still think he's gonna go to distance.
Munguia's gonna do what he does best. He's gonna take a bunch of punishment that's unnecessary, and then eventually he's gonna. What were you about to say?
Battle. Rob said this for you. Gabe's gonna get knocked out because he thinks Mortal Kombat has the best martial arts fight scenes.
I just chop this guy or something like that. bro.
Yo, that finish him that popped up right after that was fucking hilarious.
No, Gabe's gonna stand on his 2 feet because he thinks Mortal Kombat 2020 is trash and Cole is trash.
My
Like,
God, the Cole slander. The Cole slander Cole made the movie, bro. He's the best
Who did
character.
make the movie? It was Kano. I don't think people even remember Cole.
Kano's not even in the movie that much, bro. He says a couple of funny things.
That's
and,
how bad it is. How can you?
Guys, you know what my problem
Oh
is?
my
Guys,
god,
wait,
oh my
guys,
god.
you know what my problem
Okay,
was?
okay. Before we get to a whole tangent, okay, you as a protagonist have got to be the crappiest protagonist if a guy who's barely in the movie outshines you.
Stop it. Stop. You just don't like that Cole has that real cool sweater that allows him to absorb. That's what you really don't. That Cole has a Coogee sweater. He has a Coogee sweater that absorbs punishment, and you mad that they don't sell that in your state.
Oh yeah. I
Hey
love
yo, Jay, I don't like this though, bro. I really don't like this, man. You cooning on your fellow Capricorn, bro.
No. Listen.
It happens, man.
I listen. I would love for writers, the screenwriter, to be like, you know what, bro? Here's your superpower. I'm going to give you plot armor, literal plot armor. That is his superpower, bro. Cole is a joke, bro. He never advances.
Stop this.
Stop it. Bro, okay,
I have Battle. I have a constellation for you. I do, and honest to God, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I'm dead ass. I'm pretty sure if there's a second movie, Cole's gonna get killed. Pretty sure because that's how I would write it.
He's a joke.
They'll kill him off.
No, because they need somebody important to die to if they're gonna do a second movie and they're gonna write it good, which I think they wrote the first one good. You kill off Cole to increase the severity of the situation. Like, yo, they killed Cole, bro. You know what I mean?
We need to avenge him. We need to avenge Cole, man.
Has any of you guys watched The Walking Dead?
Of course, I love that show.
Okay, it's kind of like the difference. It's kind of like the difference between Sasha's death and let's say Beth's death. Everybody was super devastated over
Imagine, just real quick, just imagine if there's somebody who's in the chat who's just started watching The Walking Dead, they're a bit into the show, and Battle's just fucking wrecked it.
No,
like,
because it's not like we said
Coral is
Coral.
almost 10 years old, man.
Listen. It's not like we said Coral is gonna die, right? Like Coral, that was pretty big when
Glenn dies.
But listen. It's kind of like the difference between Sasha's death and Beth's death. Like Sasha dies for like an entire episode. Like her body is literally in a casket, and nobody really gave a crap. The thing about Cole is nobody's going to give a crap because nobody cared about him in the first place.
I'm gonna tell you what, and I'm being honest with you. When Sasha died, I was a little bit because I wanted. Oh, Sasha. I just remembered that she was in that casket and they was fighting the Saints or whatever the fuck it was. They opened the casket and I was sad off. I was because she's hot, man. She's fucking hot.
Yeah, she is. But like it's kind of like at that point, you got yourself in such a stupid predicament that when
And
you took that.
no, but you knew she was gonna die too, Battle. You can't say that death had the same gravity because you knew she was dying the whole time.
No, no,
It
no, because sometimes they actually pull a rabbit out of the hat and there's somebody right outside the window. Like they do the same thing with Daryl. Like Daryl is never going to die because people love him so much. So Daryl's going to have the crazy plot armor. I thought they was going to do the same thing with Sasha, but they didn't. Like she took that
You
cyanide pill.
thought that? What?
Huh?
Okay.
No. I'm not granted the same level of plot armor as Daryl, but I thought they was gonna pull a rabbit out of the hat, like, oh, they was following the Saviors the whole time, and now they saved Sasha. It's the same thing with Eugene in the Battle of the Saviors. I thought he was gonna get killed, but apparently not. So
Nah. Eugene, I knew that they were gonna do a shift. I felt the shift because he was a coward. He was like Courage the Cowardly Dog, and then you do the scarecrow thing that he finds his heart and all that bull. I saw that shit coming. The death that got me the most was Carol's daughter. I ain't gonna lie. I got it. Yo, that shit killed me, dog. Like that shit
I'm not
really
even gonna
killed
lie.
me.
I didn't shed a tear because of the fact that, like, when it happened, I was just like, bro, this chick has been in the barn the whole time, and I'm like, you could have got out of this quickly if you just stayed put. But like, I mean, I kind of get that she made a mistake. I was like, why did you go out? He wasn't even going for that long. Like you could have.
Nah, Battle. She was only in the barn because the preacher was herding zombies. She like by the time she get to the fucking barn, she was probably already a zombie. Because remember, he was hoarding zombies because he thought he could bring them back.
Yeah, no. I'm saying the fact of the matter is they eventually found her, but they only found her infected because she didn't stay put when Rick told her to.
Oh,
And I'm
agreed.
saying,
Agreed.
yeah, and the thing is, it's not like she waited like a whole hour and Rick didn't come back. She only waited like 10 seconds. It was like, okay, now is my time to go. Like, what? Like, what are you doing?
No, she did. She did it to herself. But you know, I guess it caught me off guard because I came into the show fresh. I didn't know nothing about who's gonna get it and when. I didn't know. So remember that whole season, or a good chunk of that season, was literally spent trying to. And in the back of your head, you know, yo, come on, B, ain't no motherfucking way she survived. But you still, I was still hoping they was going. And yo, that shit hit me hard, bro. That shit hit me hard. Like I ain't going front.
You want to know what hit me hard? I know a lot of people be like, he barely has any lines, but it's okay. It's like they purposely stopped writing him lines for some weird reason. But T Dog, I was just like, I was furious when they killed off T Dog
You
because
talking about after they get to Alexandria and they in that revolving? I think they was like near a revolving door. Him and Glenn,
no. That's Simon. I'm talking about T Dog. T Dog's the bald guy
the
who
Sasha's brother.
no. He's the bald guy who's like in the very first three seasons. You know the guy who's always butting head to head with Merle because Merle was kind of throwing racial remarks towards him.
Yeah. Now I remember. Yes, now I remember. Wow, that was the beginning.
Yeah, I feel like they did him so unceremoniously because apparently, like during like the writing room script, he wasn't supposed to die. It was like a last minute decision, so they kind of had to make a situation where he had to die, and it was so forced. Like he threw himself basically into zombies. I was like, oh my god, this is terrible. Why'd you do that to my guy?
I'm gonna say this: the ass whooping that Ioka gave Tanaka. That whole time I was thinking about Glenn. The whole time. I was thinking about Glenn. I ain't even going front like, yo, this is what happened to Glenn, B. So
Hey, yo,
Ioka
Julius.
is Negan because that's the level of ass whooping that he put on him,
Yo,
B.
Julius, man, I'm not taking credit for this because it was in the chat, but I have a question for you, man. What was Glenn's favorite chicken? Popeyes.
Oh, there it is. I mean, that's what happens
Shout
when
out
you
to Virtuoso.
That's what happens when you eat that bullshit. KFC is the way to be.
No, it ain't.
Glenn wound up getting his behind. Wound up getting his behind beat by a psychopath with a bat named Lucille, and then he upgraded to getting beat up by a talking cat that's like 7 foot tall. So
What?
a couple of you guys will get that joke.
How many spinoff shows does The Walking Dead have?
You don't know he plays Mark in Invincible?
Nah, no, I did. Really?
You didn't know that? Oh my god!
Where? I literally did know that. I think there's two. There's Fear the Walking Dead, which is like Walking Dead without the trans fats, and there's
Three.
another
That's
one.
three.
It's three.
Yeah, it's Fear the Walking Dead. And it's another one like right after that one. I hear it's terrible too.
Yeah, like it don't have the same grit that like in that season before they get to Alexandria, when they was just roaming around and they all filthy and shit and they all fucking traumatized. They all got PTSD, man. All of them. You know what I mean? Imagine living through that
There's
shit.
4 spinoffs. There's 4 spinoffs.
It's a good ass show, man. It's a good.
I don't remember the fourth one.
Torn Apart, Cold Storage, World Beyond, and Fear the Walking Dead.
Okay, so I know World Beyond. That's the one that was when they was in the college. It's like I think it's set after. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I'm listening.
It's
And
a
I
good
think
ass.
I think World. I think what he just said. I think he said World.
He said world. He said world.
Yeah, the
World Beyond, Cold
yeah,
Storage, and
World
Torn
Beyond.
Apart.
That's the one. I think it's set after the events of the Walking Dead season. I can't remember because Fear the Walking Dead's timeline kind of messed me up. It's kind of confusing at a certain point, but I think it's after the events of the original Walking Dead.
Battle, can we agree that Fear the Walking Dead is hot trash?
I can agree. I found it extremely hard to get into because I was so unbelievably bored by it.
Me too. And that's it because I love zombie genre. And I was like, yo, this has got to be bad that I don't give a fuck about what's happening here, dog. I just don't care.
I wanted a zombie to kill almost everyone because I hated almost everybody. I think the only person I liked was the mom, but almost everybody else I hated. Like I couldn't stand them, especially the kid with the dark black slick hair.
I hated the
How
drug
did we
addict
get from Gabe Rosado to The Walking Dead?
because he's walking
Because
dead
he's Walking
to the
Dead,
fucking
man.
Padilla fight, bro. He's gonna get knocked
Except
the
he's
fuck
not
out.
going to
Dead
get
man walking.
TKO'd. Except he's not going to get TKO'd, in my opinion.
Bro,
But
he's a dead man walking, bro. Like that dude is gonna get knocked the fuck out, dog. Trust
bro,
me.
he took a beating from Creed's son, bro. What's his name?
I know you talk Adonis Creed. He did
Adonis
fight
Creed,
Adonis
bro.
Creed.
Come on, like the dude can take a beating from everybody.
Bro, he was shot after that fight. He was shot after that fight.
Was he like undefeated in that movie?
Bro, yeah, him and Danny Wheeler. Danny Wheeler got knocked out by Pretty Ricky Conlon. I know all the stats.
He got his jaw broke. Yeah, he got he didn't get knocked out. He got his jaw broke. He got stuck.
That same shit in my book, dog. Like, motherfucker, break your jaw. You can't even talk shit.
What was Rosado's name in Creed again? It was funny as hell.
It was Leon the Lion Sperino, I think.
Sperino, right.
Were they trying to say Gabe Rosado was like Italian or something?
No, he has it. I mean, look at him. If he don't say nothing battle, if he don't say nothing, he's like, hey, you fucking guys. You're not gonna think he's Italian?
Bro, like Gabe Rosado, he doesn't even strike me as somebody who's Italian. I mean,
No, he could be. I at least I've seen Italians that look like that, especially in Jersey. There's Italians that look like that. He could be, but yeah, I don't know. He a Hollywood cat now. I don't even consider him. I don't really consider.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
I don't consider him a Philly fighter no more. He too Hollywood now.
You think that's because of the movie? I don't think he's did anything since.
Nah, I mean he's literally based out of Hollywood now. He don't live in Philly.
Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah, because like
He trained up at Freddie Roach's gym, right? The Wild Card gym, don't he?
Yeah, you remember Virgil? What's his name? What's the welterweight that fought Floyd? I'm forgetting everybody's name.
Victor
Ortiz. You remember Victor Ortiz was in the Expendables?
Oh,
yeah.
God. Why though? Who's for, like some he?
They should have made his they should have made his power handshakes and hugs in that movie.
Out of all the boxers, wait, let me. I gotta ask. Out of all the boxers that fucking Sylvester could have put in that guy, like you got Ronda. I dig it because Ronda was popping at the time.
Yeah, she was hot. She was hot then.
She was popping at the time. But you gonna get Victor Ortiz out of all people?
I think he asked him. I think Victor Ortiz asked him, could he be in?
Then why did he say no? I'd have said no. Like, no, you can't be in this movie. The fuck? Like the fuck?
Oh, I don't want my legacy tainted by has been. what did Mr. T say against Creed? What did Mr. T? He was like, "Get out of my corner, you has been." I can't remember.
I don't need nothing. He said, I don't need nothing. You ain't got no more. Messing up my colors. Nothing. You ain't got no more. I remember that. I like, yo,
Bro,
I
would snap right then and there. He said, "Come on, Creed."
I was a kid
Come on,
when I
Creed.
seen. I was a kid when I when I was young, I was a child, and I'm like, yo, why you talking to Apollo like that? Come on,
Y'all want to hear
Creed.
something? Y'all want to hear something funny? Like I was reading the trivia for that movie, right? And Mr. T took his mom to the premiere, and the scene where like he came on to Rocky's wife. His mom looked at him and was like, "I'd raise you to talk to a woman like that," and left.
Yeah. He told me, "Hey woman, you look like you go home at night. Wish you had a real man." Well, I'll tell you what. Come on down to my apartment.
You skipped my favorite part,
Right.
Battle.
His
You
mom
look like
bounced. His mom bounced, bro.
you skipped my favorite part, Battle. He said you look like you stay up all night. Wish you had a real man. Why don't you bring your pretty little self to my apartment?
Oh yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, and bro. The funny thing was there was a dude in the comments I was looking at because I'm subscribed to movie clips on YouTube, and basically the dude in the comments was like, "Bro, you know you gotta be real deal embarrassed to know you got a whole mansion." And the dude said, "Come over to my apartment."
Well, he was dead ass though. Like, what you bring your pretty little self to my apartment? Like, bro, she live in a fucking mansion, bro. She live in a goddamn compound. If anything, go to her house.
I think he was referring to Rocky because Rocky was standing like right there.
Bro, he's disrespectful, man.
Yeah, bro. Rocky was. I don't think that was scripted. Rocky was like, "Bro, you crossed the line, bro."
Listen, man. Creed had no gas tank, bro. Drago stops him in 3. No gas tank. He talked some shit. He could sell a fight. Drago would have stopped him.
Yep.
Bro, they don't even look the same as far as weight differences. I saw that fight and I was like, bro, this guy looks like he's a cruiserweight, bro. There's no way this guy making 175.
Wait a minute, because like I'm confused. I was confused about the weights because like in the first Creed, what he was at like 175. Then in the sequel, what is he, a heavyweight now or something?
I think it's like 180 or something. Maybe I got it wrong. I can't remember.
Nah, bro, that shit. The last Creed makes no sense. Adonis Creed ain't no more fucking.
Ring. Rocky.
He look
Creed
like a damn light heavyweight.
The Creed 2 was he was Rocky 2, 3, 4 combined. That's what it was.
Look. I'm gonna tell you what. Creed 2 needed another half hour, and that should have been at a catch. Because it's like, bro, you're not gonna tell me that you the same weight class as this big Serbian motherfucker. No, you not.
He not. It didn't look convincing at all. The guy didn't look.
I mean, what's funny? Like midway through that movie, I predicted what was gonna happen. It's like after the first fight, it's like, oh, I know how this shit's gonna go. And then I just kind of lost interest after that. You know
They wrote it well. It's not a bad movie, but it's shit that if you a boxing fan, you gonna know, bro. On what planet are these two guys in the same weight class?
Well, let's put it like this.
Y'all know they're doing the third movie, right? When Michael B. Jordan is directing it.
I mean, that's kind of the selling point of the Rocky series because at one point I think Rocky fought Hulk Hogan in like Rocky 3, and I was just like, this is absurd. But but it was funny though. Like I think he defended his title against Hulk Hogan.
No, he didn't. That was an exhibition match. That was an exhibition match.
Okay,
it wasn't for real. Yeah, it wasn't for real. It was a charity function, and Hulk Hogan just lost it. Like he wanted to show up, and he did.
And like what was funny about that fight scene is like, you know, Rocky is teeing off on him with the glove. Like, cut my gloves. And as soon as he takes them off, he starts fucking taking it to him. And what, he's hurting him all of a sudden when he couldn't before?
Ivan Drago is like 6. Okay, Rocky, I don't know about y'all, but Rocky looks smaller in the sequels to me. Unless you're talking,
bro. Battle, that he's not that much taller than him. Battle. They showed the behind the scenes, and he was standing on books.
You know, Sylvester Stallone's like 5'7", right?
No, he's little,
No,
but
I've
seen, no, he is. He's little, and he wears lips. But
oh wow,
yeah, most people, and Tom Cruise too. But I saw the photos. Ivan Drago was standing on books in order to seem bigger, even bigger than Sylvester. He was standing on books, bro.
Y'all know they're coming out with the Rocky 4 director's cut.
Hey, I love Rocky 4, bro. I still watch that shit. I don't
that's my favorite one. That's my favorite one, man.
My favorite one is Rocky 2 because that's the one where I was really like, wow, I was emotional
Yeah, you was invested in Apollo and Rocky. You didn't really know who you wanted to win, like almost
Exactly.
everybody.
Yep.
Like
That's
when
true.
Apollo talking to his wife
mean-
at the mansion and he reading the hate mail, that
Uh-huh.
shit. And when Tommy come up to him like, I saw you beat that man, like I ain't
Yeah.
never seen no man
Yeah,
get
Duke.
beat.
When Duke told him that shit. Yep, that's
Yeah,
right.
bro, that dude has some of the best lines. Like,
Dude,
the
I mean,
stuff
like
that
Duke,
would
whoever
probably
that
be
guy is.
number two. That would probably be number two, other than throwing the dang towel. Like that would be number
Oh yeah,
one.
dude. Oh, he was losing his mind, bro. That's some powerful act. He was looked like he was literally crying, like, throw the damn towel.
He said, I seen you beat that man, like I ain't never seen no man get beat. And he kept
just
coming
kept coming after you.
We don't need that kind of man in our life, baby. Let it go.
What did you think
I know how you feel. I know how you feel. I know how you feel.
Chill,
What do you
B.
think about Balboa? Because I saw that in theaters.
Balboa was a good part of the story that did not necessarily need to. It's not a bad movie, to be honest.
You know why he
with
made
you.
it? And you guys know why he made it? Because Rocky 5 was so terrible. That's why he made the 6th movie.
Rocky 5 was dope,
I'm
bro.
gonna be honest.
No. According to critics, and it was a box office bomb. It didn't do well in the box office over critics. That's why.
People talk bad about Rocky 5, but
It's
I
actually not
think
that bad.
arguably, I'm gonna be honest, right? I
Don't
think
say it's don't
arguably, if
don't
we're
put
being
it in the
honest-
top 3 battle. Don't do that. Don't
No.
fucking do
Listen,
that.
listen. I think arguably, if we're going to argue this,
In the ring. Yeah.
Time to go on
My
Taylor
ring's
Fight.
outside.
listen, hold on.
Fights in the ring.
Can I-
Let's get out of here for you break your hand on this goddamn bomb. That was my.
Let me explain.
Yeah, well, my ring's outside.
Look, let me explain. Arguably, I think if we were rating this franchise, including the Creed series, so that includes 1 and 2, Balboa is by far the worst by a landslide. Like,
Yes.
What's the worst?
Balboa is the worst out of all of them.
No, I disagree. I think Creed 2 is the worst.
no, what are you?
Nah, I don't agree with.
I don't agree with that at
that.
all.
I don't agree with that.
But
Can I tell you why? Can I tell you why? Because they turned Ivan Drago into a fucking cuckold.
his wife? No, his wife divorced him. According to that movie, his wife divorced him right after he lost. It's not really a bad thing to believe.
I married another man and like showed off in front of him and made him a broken man, and his son like was heartbroken. Mommy left him. You had 2 cuckolds trying to prove themselves and they got beat up.
I'm gonna say this. No, and battle. I'm gonna say this. Now, I do agree with you by far and wide. Balboa is the worst of the series. I do agree with that. However, Creed 2, and I'm not saying that Creed 2 was bad, but as far as matter of fact, okay, I'll say this, and most people don't agree with me on this. It's Balboa and it's Rocky 1 for me. Bottom 2. I was never big
Oh
on
my god! I think you had me. Then you went way off the rails, man. I don't know. Okay,
Here's an idea. Why don't we rank them in order? Why don't we rank them in order from
let me do this. For me, it's 2, 4, 2 and 4, then 3, then 5, then Creed 2, then Rocky 1, then Balboa.
Okay, let me.
Christ, what the fuck is that all?
I didn't like the
All
first
right, Battle,
Rocky.
you go next. Battle, you go next. What's your list? Battle, you go next. What's your list?
Okay, so for me, I would agree somewhat with Ring's list. I would do Rocky 2 as number 1. After that, I would probably put Creed. I know that's a big surprise here, but I'll probably put Creed. I would probably put Rocky 4 at number 3. Number 4 would be Creed 2. Number 5 would probably be Rocky 3. Number is it 7 of them?
No, it's 6.
It's 6. It's because
No, there's
5.
there's 8 of them. There's 8 of them.
8 including Creed.
There's 8 of them. Okay. Number 6 would probably be number 5. Wait, I'm forgetting that. Dang it, I'm confused. but either way,
off the soundtrack alone, 5 is top 4. Keep it up. Keep it up. Ooh, yeah, that's my shit.
Let's be honest, guys. The ones that people love the most are not the best written. Rocky 4 number 3 are probably known for being the best by most fans because it has the best fight scenes, the best music, the best like motivational training, and
heart's
Like,
on
yeah, but they're not the best.
fire.
They're not. They're not better. They're not better written than Creed. They're not better written than Rocky 1. They're not better written than
Now,
Rocky 2.
wait, no. I'm gonna say this. Now, I'm gonna say this with all due respect, right? Creed is a good movie, but any movie
is.
about it. Now, what? Now, let me finish. Any movie about some fucking son who has daddy issues, I already don't like you. I don't care about your daddy issues. You got money. Your mother.
It was more
Wait,
so-
wait. Let me finish. Let me finish. Your mother busted her ass raising you, and she didn't have to. I don't want to hear about your fucking daddy issues. All right. You got his ass beat. I was laughing when Danny Wheeler. When Danny Wheeler
Oh,
knocked
yeah.
his ass out in sparring,
saw his
I
car?
was
You saw his
laughing.
car?
No, like
Who right. Battle, can you finish your list?
Okay, so I know the bottom two would probably be Balboa, and then probably maybe 5. I'm not sure, but like probably I just know.
I like
Huh?
5.
I don't get me wrong. I love 5. I think 5 is way better than people give it credit for. But like I said, it's just one of those things. Like you can have a movie that's more favored by fans, but not be as better written. You know what I mean?
Like
Like
Mortal Kombat.
no.
I had to do it, yo. I had to bring it up, yo.
Actually, Ring, you actually make up a good point because Mortal Kombat 2021 is written terribly. But
Won't you stop? Won't you stop? Won't you just get back to Rocky? Won't you stop?
Because listen,
Get back to Rocky, bro. Just get back to Rocky.
Better when you done with your list, or Mark, you want to go?
I don't know. Is Battle done with his list or what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you done?
I got confused at the last part.
Yeah, all right. Best is 3, then 2, then 4, then 1, then Creed 1, then 5, then Balboa, then Creed 2. Creed 2 was shit.
Man, why do you have Creed series so low?
Mark, do you think that Lunga Makabu would have been able to beat Adonis Creed?
I'll be dead honest with you. No.
You don't think Lunga could beat him?
No, plot armor.
Oh, right.
All right. Let me go right quick. All right. Let me see. All right. My list. Okay. Rocky 4, Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Creed, Rocky 3, Rocky Balboa, Creed 2, Rocky 5.
Look, I'm not gonna get too mad about it. You have Creed above 3. Creed above 3.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That is crazy.
Nah, I can't accept that, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Listen, wait a minute. Let me stop all of y'all right now. No Rocky movie has as many good lines as 5. Touch me, I sue. Go ahead, punk. Touch me, I sue.
Right.
You what? I'm tired of being in your shadow, man. People call me your robot. Yo, that whole movie is dope lines, B. My ring's outside. My ring's outside.
Sue me for what?
Battle.
Sue me for what?
Battle. My ring's outside. Let's get it. That whole movie got dope lines, B.
You forgot
Look, that dude was such a Don King ripoff. It was hilarious. Oh my god,
bro. He was, but I mean, Rocky is a Chuck Wepner ripoff.
Hey, Reed, did you? Okay, the funniest part of the movie for me, I know you guys could be like, this guy's tripping, but the part when he knocked Rocky down, he's like, come on, Val, come on. And then they slowed it down, he's like, come on, bro. I was dying, bro. Like, they distorted him, like, gave him like a devil voice. Like, it was crazy.
Oh,
out of nowhere, Mickey showed up. Get up, you son of a bitch.
Because Mickey loves you. Don't act like you ain't get hype off of that, Jay. Back then we all got hype off of that. Like, yeah, get the fuck up, B.
I'm like, get your ass up and whoop his ass, bro.
Rocky 5 has probably top 3 best fight scenes. I don't care what nobody else say.
Bro. But why is everybody ranking it so goddamn low then? Like y'all wild.
I'll tell you why. Wait. Hold up.
I had 3 number 1, bro. I had that number 1.
I'll tell you why it's so low for me right quick. Let me get this out. Okay, I'll rank this so low because I did not like the plot. I just hated how they took Rocky from riches back to rags and how he just lost everything.
All right.
That's what I hated. That's what I hated about that.
I do
because
agree with
I
you.
didn't, because I actually love the idea that there's actually.
Dumbass Paulie, who I don't like, who I hate, I can't stand as a character in those films. Fucking signs his shit over all that bastard. I hated Paulie in those movies. He was the worst character in the series.
You just jogged my memory, because I remember that was a part of the reason that sometimes I would skip past the beginning. Like, I don't want to see when he broke and they got to move out the big house.
That's why I ranked it so low, because of that. That's the only they took away his riches and they brought it back to like square one where he was before.
Do you know why I love that though? Do you know why I love that? Because that was one of the most realistic plots in Rocky's entire franchise.
Yeah, it was real, but we already saw him like that before. You know what I mean? And he had come through so much throughout the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you expect? No, hold on. But that's part of who Rocky's supposed to be. Rocky is supposed to be a self-destructive bum. If you just make him become something, then it's all rainbows and sunshine. You're taking away part of who he is.
But the thing is, like some movies just have a hard time actually showing that there's consequence to your actions. Like Rocky, he was going. Okay, be realistically in real life, that probably he never would have went as far. But as far as the movie logic goes, he went for a pretty good distance. But it was only going to be a matter of time for you taking that amount of punishment until it be like, bro, you can't do this no more. Like honestly, Rocky should have probably been killed by Rocky.
Wait a minute. Wait. George Chuvalo, bro. Let's cut the crap.
No, that is so different, bro. Okay,
Come on, bro. Come on.
Let me say this real quick. There was a guy who literally, he was a guy who was renowned for doing CompuBox when CompuBox wasn't invented, because he used to count fights before CompuBox was invented. And a guy jokingly said, "Hey, why don't you count the punch stats of the Rocky movies, right?" And I never forget, like, considering that the people didn't really know how to measure force when it came to punching power, they had Ivan Drago punching at like 1800 psi, which is extremely strong. That's like an 18 with like running you over.
Yeah.
So basically, I think he recorded that Rocky got hit like over 10,000 times in the face, and I couldn't believe it. It was just utterly absurd. He would have died by Rocky 2, honestly. So the thing is, when it comes to Rocky, it's extremely absurd. I think what the thing is.
Well, obviously, bro, because Rocky should. Here's an absolute fact. Yeah, any fight Rocky ever had that went the distance, he lost because that fool took about 47 knees per round.
Yeah.
Honestly, but they never called any of them, bro.
Bro, think about it. Like in Rocky 4, they're literally wrestling each other in the freaking ring. Like he's throwing the ragdolling each other. Like holding and hitting all this kind of crap. I mean, matter of fact, this reminds me like.
Listen. Before you say anything, Rocky is the only movie I've ever seen, Rocky 4 especially, that had the big fight feel. When I was watching that shit, it felt like I was watching a fight when I was a kid. Like it felt like it had. That's the only boxing movie that I've ever seen, and I've seen damn near all of them. And that's the only one, when I seen it for the first time, it legitimately had the big fight feel. Other than
the subtitles, like he's made of iron and shit in the middle of it, bro.
CBR! That's my favorite.
What fights do you think has the biggest build up besides Rocky 4? Like as far as the last final fight?
Cinderella Man.
I haven't seen that one.
I'm gonna tell you something, Battle, and I'm just not bullshitting. That is by far and wide one of the best boxing movies I've ever seen. It is. It really is. Like, it just is.
It probably is the best boxing movie, if we're being dead ass.
Honestly, I could say Raging Bull was another one. The last final fight.
I don't class that as a boxing movie. That's a biopic. It's not really an actual boxing movie. It's more of a biopic.
It is a boxing movie, but it's more so a character study movie. It's
you see Jake LaMotta can punch his wife more times than you see him in the ring in that movie.
Of course, but the thing is, it's kind of, that's just Martin Scorsese's style. Didn't Martin Scorsese direct Taxi Driver?
Yeah, he did.
That's just his style. He just liked to make like secluded character study movies. I mean, that's just kind of his thing. The thing is, when it came to that fight, it was almost like it was a massacre because I honestly, I think they got one of the worst actors to play Sugar Ray Robinson because the guy looked nothing like Sugar Ray Robinson. He just had very slick hair.
Yeah,
But
he didn't look like Ray. He
but
didn't look
like
like Ray.
he looked so scary when they put like on the when they put on the fight because he was taking so much unbelievable punishment.
But it's also that you see the silhouette. Like I get it. Like it's a dope image to see the silhouette of the hair moving and all of that. I would have did it differently though. But that dude didn't
Mhm.
look like Ray, bro. Like he didn't look like
He
Ray.
looked nothing like Ray Robinson, but I will say the fight itself was amazing. But he looked nothing like Sugar Ray Robinson. I was like,
But
this is
also, that's not a great movie to me, and I know that that's slanderous for me to say that. I don't consider Raging Bull a great movie. I
I
honestly
agree.
don't.
I concur. I concur. I tried.
I
I
think
tried
it's
to watch it.
considered one of
Honestly,
the great
I turned it
movies
off.
for
To be
me
honest.
because Martin Scorsese almost never has a bad movie.
Yeah,
You're not allowed to.
yeah,
You're not
yeah.
allowed to say Robert De Niro plus Martin Scorsese isn't good.
Yeah,
You're not
well,
allowed
well,
to.
I'm gonna say,
It's
and you know what else I'm
considered
gonna say?
blasphemy.
Wait a minute, no, wait a minute. You know what else I'm gonna
He
say?
said it's considered
I'm gonna say three things. I'm gonna say three things, and it's gonna be controversial. It is a hot take. The Fighter about Mickey Ward is better than Raging Bull. That's one.
Yes.
Did
Wait,
you
I'm
Okay.
not done. I'm not done. Melissa Leo, who played his mother, has a fat old ass, and they thought they could hide it, but I seen that no, she has a fat old ass. They
Ring,
trick.
ring,
Wait, hold up.
ring,
First
ring,
of all,
ring.
I got two
Let
questions.
me say. Wait,
Ring,
guys.
I
Let me
got
say
two
this. Let me say this. Let me say this. Hold up. Christian Bale deserved that Oscar for that role.
Yes, for
He played
Dickie.
the hell out of. He played the hell out of Dickie. Yes,
Hey,
he
boo
did.
boo, where'd you put the car? Boo boo, where'd you put the car?
Aw.
Okay, Ring, first of all, I got two questions, right? First off, what's the name of the chick so I can search her up for research purposes?
Melissa Leo. Look, in the beginning
Research
scene, right?
purposes.
Let me break it down for you. This is how I know she got a fat old ass. In the beginning scene, Dickie is at the crack house, right? His mom is looking for him. She find him after he jump out the window and land on a mattress. When she go up the hill, that's when you see them ass like she got a fat old ass. They trying to
Oh
hide it.
yeah.
They
That
trying to
scene.
hide, but she has a fat. She probably got a fatter ass than Amy Adams, and that's why they trying to hide it because they
Ray,
don't want people spend the whole movie looking at her ass. Like, nah, she got a fatter ass than Amy Adams. We don't
Ray,
need to
Amy
take.
Adams
Ray,
has a fat ass.
Adams,
yo,
She don't. That's what I'm saying. That she don't have a fat ass, so ain't nobody gonna look at her if they see
Ray.
Melissa Leo's ass.
hey, but listen, but listen though, if you, I'm gonna say this though, Ring, did you see The Wrestler?
The wrestler.
Oh, Mickey Rourke.
Oh,
Mickey
you
Rourke.
talking about Mickey Rourke? Nah, I didn't see the wrestler. I heard it was good though.
Yeah, it really is good. It really is good.
Yeah, it's actually an enjoyable enough movie.
But like I said, to me, outside of the Rocky franchise, the very best movies that I've seen outside of Rocky for a male protagonist is Cinderella Man, and second would be The Fighter. For the girls, I've always thought Melissa Rodriguez is overrated. I don't like her. She's a typecast actress. The best girl boxing movie for me was Hilary Swank, $1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby.
Yep.
Easy.
No. I'm a be
Easy.
completely honest.
Did you guys ever see
I'm
Southpaw
a
with
be
Jake? You guys see Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal?
That was all right.
nah.
I thought it was trash.
Actually, I thought that was trash. I'll never forget when that movie first came out. I used to watch this certain guy, and he did a review on it. He was like, "This movie is great. Go watch it." And I watched the movie. I was like, "This movie is trash."
But I'm gonna say this: I enjoyed it because I'm a dad. But if it would have been 25-year-old me, I would have said this shit is trash.
I mean, me personally, it was one of those things where like I'm okay with hot takes. Like I think personally you should push more characters that are unlikable as protagonists so you can kind of see their shift. But me personally, I just didn't like the protagonist. I hate it. No, not hate it. I just really disliked his daughter. And because of the thing that the fight scenes were terrible, and I just couldn't believe for the life of me that a guy like this would be undefeated. Like it just didn't make sense to me.
Battle, you are so full of shit. Mungia is undefeated. Zerto is undefeated.
No, that is so not the same.
Stop
Mungia actually no. Hold on. You're looking at it because I don't even know if you really how many times you watched that movie. If you've seen this guy fight, you know for the fact of the matter is the guy was unskilled. He just had a very strong chin. That was it. I find it extremely unbelievable. Mungia actually has a modicum of skill. the thing about it, I couldn't buy the idea that Jake Gyllenhaal was undefeated because he got into a war every single
Listen,
fight.
hold on.
Yeah, that's why it's a movie.
First, let me address the super chat. I did see Duran. I hated it. They skipped right over De Jesus. All of a sudden, he's a fucking welterweight. Let's just fast forward through an entire section.
The Leonard fight.
You know what I mean? It's like you can't do that, bro. You leaving out a lot.
Let's
of
just
shit.
skip out one of the things. Like, to be honest, Duran being like having the most title defenses in lightweight and everything, and being an undisputed lightweight champion is huge.
And the thing is, me personally, I never forget, there was this one reviewer who said that his biggest problem with the movie is you find it extremely hard to root for Roberto Duran because he's just so unlikely with the stuff he does. And me personally, I think the only person who could have made that effective and actually have it historically accurate is somebody like Mark Scorsese, because he can actually make it unlikable.
Yeah, but you gotta decide. You gotta decide when you tell a story like that, right? That's about a real person. You have to decide: do you want this to be a biopic, or do you want the audience to actually root for the character? And with that movie, I feel that's one of the biggest problems. That
because do you lie to the people and say Roberto Duran did all these great things so you can root for him for a TV mate
But you don't have to lie to them, Battle. You just don't have to tell everything. Like I would have did the movie up until the second De Jesus fight. That's where I would have did it. The second De Jesus fight.
But I mean, maybe so, but like I think a good part of the movie would have made it more realistic is to show like the tenacity of what type of fighter what type of person Roberto is outside of the ring. Because if he was just this boring Joe Smo who just be like, oh, I just want to fight for my country, they would have seen it before. Honestly,
Listen, bro, you would have got 2 movies out of me. The first one would have been building up to the De Jesus fight. And then the second one would have been what happens after that when he go to welterweight, and then maybe we do a third. Maybe it's just we all know he's gonna get his ass whooped when he go to middleweight. We know that.
Speaking of which, did y'all see Hands of Stone? Where Usher
played Sugar. That's the one we talking. That's what we talking about. That's what we talking about. Like that shit was. Listen, that was not a good movie. And on that note, I gotta wrap it up because I think we on 3 hours now. I gotta wrap it up, gentlemen. Always a pleasure. Really appreciate that. Wait, you thinking Hands of Stone? I meant the bio. Oh, I didn't see the bio, Willie. I thought you saw my Hands of Stone, and I didn't like Hands of Stone, to be honest with you. I didn't like it. It was like you leaving out way too much shit.
Usher was Sugar Ray, bro.
You know what? It grew on me. It grew on me.
How'd he do?
Grew on. I mean, it wasn't bad. Usher was a better Sugar Ray than the guy they had as Robinson in Raging Bull. I can say that.
You have no dialogue.
Still, it's better. I was okay with it. All right, I'll holler at y'all, man.
All right.